All right. So, a quick recap.
Background.
What?
He says it's about 20 minutes that we lost.
Okay, so
well.
a quick recap of that 20 minutes. Sorry, growing pains and technical difficulties after a 2-week absence. So yeah,
we were out for 2 weeks. Forgive us.
Forgive us, please. But
We're sick.
what happened was after coming to from the opening of the Gatekeeper seal, Neopkis had apparently nearly killed himself in the attempt, and Rotmir had nearly died trying to stop him. Opening the portal had allowed a strange creature to come through, one out of nightmares. And before it could completely coalesce to be able to attack the group, they had pulled their unconscious members around themselves, and Flynn had cast teleportation, trying to get them out of here and back to Gatherhold within the Talenta Plains. But instead of them appearing within those great sea of wheat and grass, they now stand still within the towering wood. Flynn recognizes that the area that they're in is almost the exact same area that they first teleported into when they came into the Towering Woods. Triswin had immediately attempted to cast Revivify on Thraka, and we had been dealing with that. As Resurrection in my games isn't as simple as casting a spell, there is more to it than that. Thraka.
Yes.
Floating within that vast, empty sea of dark waters. So black you can't see your own body beneath the water itself. Making your way to the sound of that voice. That voice that you've only heard twice before in your life. Once when you were but a small, young child. 14, 15 years old. Still had not completed the trials to become a full-fledged member of the Gatekeepers. And again, when you had offered yourself and a portion of your own soul to save your friend Perry, not weeks past. You continue towards the voice?
Yeah.
As you continue to make your way, you hear it not with your ears. You're moving too much to the water. This place is so vast and empty. It's not like you're hearing sound. The waves make no noise. The sky above, the wind, none of it seems to register any type of noise. You feel the voice. Not inside your head. Within your soul, you think? Something deeper. Something more elemental. As you make your way to the voice, you can hear it's chanting.
Guess I'll keep going towards it.
Keep making your way towards it.
The only thing I hear, I mean, it makes sense.
The chanting is the same phrase. You know, one of the great gifts that your patron gives you is the ability to understand and speak any language. Whatever he's speaking, whatever enchant that he keeps muttering over and over again is in a language you have never heard, and you know nothing of its meaning. Before you, you see what looks to be a small landmass, not 50 feet wide, not 200 feet across, sitting within this vast empty sea. And you can see a break in the dark clouds overhead that cast a very eerie, almost aquamarine glow on that shelf.
It's the only thing I see.
As you do, the voice gets louder and louder. And again, it's not like you're trying closer to it and hearing it louder. It just feels like it's almost filling you up, almost with a strange energy. And you can feel yourself renewed and invigorated by this energy. As you finally pull yourself out of the water and stand on the shelf, you hear all around you, feel it, that chanting over and over again.
I guess I look around, like just try to perceive what's going on around me.
There is a vast, empty, dark sea around you. The shelf beneath your feet is old and looks like it will be swallowed at any moment when the tide changes. The clouds themselves above you are motionless, and but for a small crack within them, that light spills down. That is all that you see.
Thraka, as brash as he is ever, like, pretty crude, just screams out, "Any of you speak common?"
As you scream, the words aren't what you expect. You know what you meant to say, but it comes out garbled and strange, but similar in nature to that chant you feel. So the chant continues to loop over on itself. And with the words you speak don't coincide to anything that's said. You know whatever it is, you're speaking its language.
Who's there?
Same thing. When you speak, you realize you're not speaking with your voice. It's almost as if you're allowing the words to emanate from your own essence within. You're becoming more and more, the dawning realization that you're not in your physical form.
I guess I'll look around the shelf, like, I mean, you know, just try to explore as much as I can. I mean,
So you go to jump back in the water? The shelf itself is, you can see the length of it, and it is nothing but a rocky outcropping.
is there any direction that the voice, like, gets stronger in, or is it just, like, constant all around?
Now that you've gotten to the shelf, it feels as if you're at the epicenter of it.
Am I able to will myself up towards the light, or is that only in the water?
It seems as if that only works within the water.
Okay.
Almost like you found yourself to reality still. Like while you still try to have yourself rise, you still know that you can't fly, and that seems to hold you back.
I guess, what do you want from me?
The chant doesn't change, and your voice comes out in that same strange language.
I'm as perplexed as Thraka right now, because it's like, I don't understand. Guess I hop back into the water.
You can see the emerald light, or I'm sorry, the aquamarine light is slowly dissipating as the clouds begin to grow closer and closer together, and that voice within you begins to dim with each passing moment, dims, dims. dims and you feel yourself getting further away. The ocean is vast and empty, almost inviting in a strange way. You hesitate for a moment, putting your foot out to just dunk back into the water, and you feel if you enter that surface again, you probably won't ever come out. You'll just let the vast, dark ocean wash over you and take you to the bottom.
I do a check.
I'll let you roll a straight intelligence check.
I think the rock is retarded, yeah. Yeah, plus 0. 16.
You know this entity, whatever it is, demanded of you nothing more than obedience. Great power. All that it required was for you to do as it asked when the time came. That time came, and you were asked to betray your allies, the gatekeepers that you had spent your life defending, the seals that have been the lifeblood of that Ranger and Druid sect, protecting them, making sure Eberron is safe, that Zordiat cannot once again overrun Eberron and to send it back into madness and war.
Okay.
You know, this creature values, whatever it may be, values more than anything else, your blind obedience. And you still hear the chant droning on.
So I guess I have to make a decision to blindly obey. Hop in the water. So I guess Thraka's gonna think of, because what would the rest of the group do? Because he's kind of like discombobulated at this point. He remembers like pain in his head getting fucked up, and then next thing you know he's swimming, and now
you understand you're dead.
yeah, like it's like, so just wonders what they would do. He thinks Peru probably just hop in the water. Just screw it. Tristan would probably try to talk to the voice. Then would try to burn everything. Arnos would probably catch on fire.
Right, I'm like,
Oh yeah, that's what Arnos would do. Just spontaneously combust.
And
It's never spontaneous.
No, it's not. No.
at this point, like, and he has to think of what he should do, because the guy that fucked him up was trying to. Was he conscious enough to know that the seal was about to be broken by
No.
Tentacles McDouche? No.
No. You died well before that. But you knew your goal was, if this was one of the fake seals, was to destroy it.
Okay. So I guess that means he has to. So what he should do, since that's the goal of his group. I guess he sticks and commits to the voices.
And how does he commit to the voice?
Joins the chant.
As you take up the chant and you begin to speak it over and over, the dimming voice surges to life with a ferocity that frightens you. Now it is all around you. The dark ocean is gone. The shelf that you stand on, a distant memory. You float now, and you sense a presence before you. You think a star appears before you as the light hurts your eyes, the sudden and intense aquamarine light that bathes you, makes you shield your eyes. It hurts so badly. As you finally become accustomed and look, you see a star has not appeared within the sky, but an eye has opened, and it looks at you. And you hear, "Good." Christmas. As you concentrate, you feel your spell takes no hold. You search for the soul, reaching it as fast as you can with Revivify, trying to wrap your hand around that soul and bring it back to its body, but it's not there. You reach and you reach and you reach, and you feel nothing. And as you come back into your body, and the first tears begin to mist your eyes, you see Thraka, almost Dracula.
Because I'm like on top of him going like...
The hole in his head stitching together as you watch. For just a moment you can see the pink of his brain being reformed. The hole slowly closing, the skull appearing, the flesh covering the skull itself. His eyes are wild for a moment. And you look around. Just as quickly as the eye was there, you feel yourself fall. But instead of hitting ground, you suddenly feel your physical form around you again. And that sudden shock makes you gasp. The first inhalation of breath that your body has had for who knows how long. And you now sit in a seated position with a very worried looking Perry, who still bleeding out of a great many wounds, Triswin with tears in her eyes standing above you, and Flynn with a very confused look upon his face as he bends down and pours a potion into Arnos' mouth. Go ahead, you got the other potion?
Yeah, he's got that one.
And one for
Roddy.
Roddy.
Okay. Let me...
He's not here, so
Okay,
I can call him Roddy all I want.
As you get up to Roddy, you see his breathing has become a little more regular. Mm-hmm. It seems as if he's at least stable for now. He rolled a natural 20 and an 18 on the death saving throw, so. Go ahead and roll 2d4 plus 2.
That's a 2.
And
alright. Rob, here's at 10 hit points.
Yay, Roddy! You feeling okay?
Yeah. So, what do I do for...
You are at 1 hit point. You are alive. So, Triswin, you have a complete understanding of...
What happened?
The spell failed because it's been longer than a minute. But you're not sure how long. And that sudden realization that it's been longer than a minute, when you had maybe another 20 to 30 seconds to cast Revivify upon him when you teleported. So you should have arrived with enough time to cast a spell upon him. With your perception check, you begin to realize it was noon, midday, when you all made your way down into the cistern. It's dawn.
We weren't down there that long.
We were in a labyrinth.
We took
weren't
one.
there
We
that
weren't
long.
one. We took one wrong turn. It only took us like 2 or 3 hours a day.
No, you guys were there for about 6 hours. Total.
6?
6 hours total to figure out that the doorway was behind the false trapdoor.
False door.
When
Yes.
we have a private moment, I would like to talk to you about something.
In character? Oh.
I would like to try and, what's the sense for the undead, particularly if any of these guys feel like it.
As
If I could sense it
I'd
through
like
myself.
a Constitution saving throw. Please.
Oh my god, you're gonna blind yourself. Plus 10.
That's okay.
Or actually, no, plus 3. Plus 3. Plus 3.
Okay,
He's
okay.
within 10 feet of me, I'm sure.
Okay, so that's 14.
14. It hurts you to concentrate like this. You haven't taken a beating like this since you died, and even this one feels like worse. You still have that strange sense that you yourself have a very odd sense of undeath about you, but not completely undead. Not undead, but just a faint hint, as it were, of undeath about you. But you detect no undead creatures around you.
But so that feeling that I know that I've been getting from myself is less than normal, or still there?
It's still there.
Just as
It's like-
as much as it was before.
How
Just
far
as
are
much
we
as it
from
was
the
before.
labyrinth?
I'm sorry?
How far are we from the labyrinth?
From where you guys currently are? Oh, you're at least 2 days walk. No, I'm sorry. At this point, you guys are almost a 4-day walk from the labyrinth. Because it was a little over a day's walk just to get to the encampment. And it was 2 days southwest in order to get to the encampment. Or to get to the,
Labyrinth.
yes, that's the word.
Do I know where I am at this moment?
No.
When you wake up, you come to, then yeah, you recognize it's already. You know, he thinks you guys are pretty close to where you are before. You know, you're exactly where he teleported in the last time. That strange teleportation where you guys tried to go into the encampment itself, and instead you wound up a day away. You're literally in the exact spot you teleported to before.
Flynn, why do you like this spot?
I don't. We were going to gather holes. There's something that draws us here.
I'd like you to go ahead and roll your Arcana check, please.
Well, we're
I
dealing
really
with
need to
people
talk to
that
you
are fucking with the planes.
about what
Is it any
happened.
surprise that they're making us go to specific
This is
point?
the exact spot that we're at the last time. Don't want to
Man, you think we're near? You think we're near one of the ones we need to break?
Understandable. but
25 with a natural 20.
Okay.
It
Maybe.
is somewhat worrisome.
A sudden realization begins to dawn on you. Where Liamin had told you that translocation and transdimensional magic had been acting funny. You realize now teleporting into the exact same spot on 2 consecutive occasions. It's not that teleportation magic itself is acting funny. Something is tethering the aether-like passageways that you use to teleport from one location to another, and is solidifying them, almost fusing them into becoming actual paths that cannot be deviated from. So whereas you attempted to take this path to get to Gatherhold, instead you intersected with the same path that you had before, which brought you here. So it's not that the transdimensional magic isn't functioning properly, it is. It's just tethering you to certain destinations depending on what, call it ley lines, you're currently tapped into.
Can I feel where the lines move so I can change destinations?
You can feel there's definitely a very strong pull within the Towering Wood to this location. There's other minor locations without here that you may be able to get to, but you're not sure if you can teleport out of the Towering Wood while still within here.
Can I tell if there's anything specific tethering to this spot?
something like this has never happened before, and the fact that you begin to understand what's going on, I mean, you're barely beginning to wrap your head around it, and something immensely powerful. I mean, this has to be superseding dragon monks of House Orion and translocation magic from a guild that's existed for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
In the entire history of the Kingdom of Galifar and the subsequent cessation of the Five Nations and the wars, you've never heard of anything like this happening before.
So is there anything I can feel that's like a magical tether, like something that's powerful enough to lock the ley line into this spot?
Whatever it is, it's not within the material plane. Whatever's affecting it is on the outside pulling strings and solidifying these points.
There's nothing we can do to break it loose.
There might be something you can do, but
we need to get somewhere else to figure it out. We are on our feet to get out of here.
Do I take any physical damage for doing that? Or for anything?
doing what?
For casting a ray of fire? Okay.
The spell basically just fizzles.
I don't think we're in any shape to move on.
We should make camp and rest.
Then we have a choice to make.
Can we get to the Gatekeeper camp?
The day's walk.
Nope.
A day was one of the more dangerous woods in the world in our shape? I think not.
We need to make camp.
Alright.
Well,
When Rotmir sits up and kind of looks around at you guys and, well, fuck! That hurts. He looks down at his very mangled armor, and for the first time in your guys' lives of traveling with Rotmir, as no one was around when he had his one-on-one with his dying father, you see a tear in his eye as he looks at the damage done to his beautiful, beautiful set of plate.
I know.
He goes, fuck!
We'll get you a good blacksmith, don't you
Can you
worry.
fix it for him? Either one of you.
Not at the moment, but yeah, we can fix that up for you guys.
we need to rest and then we have a decision to make.
A lot of things to talk about.
You guys begin to set up camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Well, is there any place nearby that looks a little bit more...
There are some very, very big trees. I mean, you have mangrove trees with roots so large that you can literally go beneath them and use them as shelter.
Yeah.
trees.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's this one.
I
will
would
step
like
on
you to go ahead and roll me a
I've
survival
been
check.
smashed by a
And
tree.
because you are
We've
in the
gone
forest,
through
you have
tree-
advantage
smashed by
from
two
your favorite
trees,
terrain.
Killed by another. I really just don't
Yeah, it's a tree.
like
It's a scare.
trees. They are scary. You haven't been smushed by a tree.
That really didn't make
And
much
died.
sense.
No, it did. Well, no, not much. Holy.
Is that a 9 on the other
Yeah,
side?
that's a 9.
Are they both nice?
Survival, you said, so that's an 18.
As you're doing your best to help set up a ranger fire, as it's fairly cold now, winter is seeping in, and that morning frost is still hanging in the air, you look up, and you have a fairly sizable portion of canopy that's missing. You guys are still further closer to the edge of the Elvine Reaches, where the forest isn't quite as thick, where you still have trees that are maybe 15 to 20 paces between each other and not 5 to 6 paces between each other, where the floor itself is almost just like a root system. You're further out from that, so you can actually see the sun, and you begin to calculate, and the sun's in the wrong place. See, you guys are in the 11th month of the year. Sun, from your calculation, should be about an inch that way.
Yeah, time passed weird. I don't know when it is.
I think
Everything is off.
I
Agreed.
think you sent us either a month later, 2 months later,
You
or a
think
month
it's
back.
actually a few days.
A few days. Oh, okay.
By your calculations, between 2 and 4.
Might have lost up to an entire week.
Yeah.
That would explain some things. That would explain a lot of things.
Explain what things?
When we make camp, we will have a discussion.
You guys can pretty easily make camp yourselves. Unlike before, where you heard nothing in this place. It was eerily quiet. And shortly thereafter, you all were attacked by those strange tentacle creatures. Almost like masses of 6 tentacles with one different tentacle, one poisonous tentacle. And within this mass is almost just a beak. And that's it. Now you hear birds chirping. You can hear the scrabble of chipmunks and squirrels within the trees.
Well, there are no tentacle monsters nearby.
Oh, I think we might have, it seems like we might have done some good, at least with that.
Yeah, except
almost
for-
die for nothing.
Here, at least the aberration. That's a minor problem, but not one we're equipped to deal with at the moment.
Oh, and Tristan and Flynn, I need both of you guys to make just general wisdom checks, please. Just a check. That's your wisdom bonus.
Am I wise, or am I a moron?
We're about to find out.
10.
Hey, I have a bonus. 20
20?
total.
When, right before you had gathered up the people, as you cast the spell, and your consciousness was pulled away, ripped, and thrust in the transdimensional dimension, and teleported away from here, you looked at the seal itself. And the only piece that remained intact was that almost pyramid-like centerpiece of it. And it draws a striking resemblance to the other piece of the doorway that you have.
Yeah, if you go back to the cave,
Aye.
as soon as we rest, we start back.
Let's see if we can't take a
The
couple of
remaining
those.
piece is a piece of the doorway.
Let's see if we can't take a couple of those rangers with us though first.
Yeah. More people to stab us in the back. We go straight back.
We do have that giant bug thing.
So we get rangers killed on top of us?
They could at least help us.
Yeah, they done it quick.
Fair enough.
Are any of them as strong as one of us? Are any 5 of them as strong as one of us?
It's very true. I am the strongest in this party.
Yeah,
And she just like looks at Rotmir like.
Yeah, heart
And
of
ignoring
steel,
your-
head of wood.
No
Squish
comment.
you, little man.
So what are y'all doing?
I want to sleep.
We need to.
Set a watch order and
I'll take first watch.
Rotmir very stubbornly will go, I'll take first watch.
I'll take first watch.
No, go to sleep, sissy.
You know I hate it when you do that.
Hate it while you're going.
to sleep. It's
Hate
okay.
it on the way
Roll
to.
me an insight check.
That's not mine.
It is now.
That is a 19.
19? You can tell Rotmir's pride is wounded much worse than his armor is.
Alright. Go to sleep. You've got this.
I've got this. And he goes out and sits just outside of the boughs of this tree and starts keeping watch. So while he's doing that, what is everyone else doing?
I will take.
Going to sleep.
You roll, yeah, you're thrashed.
It's been a fucked up day.
You got resurrected. I'm exhausted. No sleep.
Is it a short rest or a long rest?
Take
Long rest.
Longer.
I'll take second watch and make sure Rotmir's watch goes good too.
I'll take.
You can
last
see,
watch.
like, before, when Perry died and he refused to leave his side for that entire time that he was asleep, almost to the point of him passing out from exhaustion, he's almost at that point when you relieve him.
Yeah.
I gotta clean my rifle.
Okay, so,
I'll take last watch. So whatever that is.
I got Rotmir and Flynn, and there's 2 more watchers.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
Perry? Anybody else take Gorn's watch?
I guess I've got 4. What? Don't gladly right.
Darka's not waking up.
You're
Brady
gonna have to
stepped out.
kick.
How many hours? How many watches can I take without?
You can only take one.
Oh,
Just
one
one.
if you want to get your, unless you guys want to spend longer here.
Oh, we're gonna be spending longer here.
If you guys take a full rest, you'll still have about 4 hours of light left in order to travel.
Then we need to get back to the
Unless you guys want to take an entire day and a night and then go travel the following morning.
Yeah.
No, we need to get back
Give me
quick.
that piece. We're gonna still have to rest anyways.
Well, okay, fair enough.
Do you want to take last watch with me?
Darka's like out cold.
And you didn't roll a 1, so you're fine. Your rifle.
He died.
Yeah,
I'm
but
aware.
I'm still cleaning
Yeah.
it. Oiling it,
Careful, you'll get blind.
stroking it.
Oh yes. Lovely. Yes. Was anything else of import happening while you guys were on watch?
Yeah, I'll climb a tree and turn into that.
Okay.
I'll have last watch, so just sit there with Baba La Saga out and just sit there like that with
You
her.
find it very clumsy in the beginning,
Mm.
but you feel yeah. All right.
Oh god.
This is not true. Don't worry, I only stay this way forever.
So
Does
everybody
anyone
else-
notice him do that?
He goes up in the tree and does it. So you guys are asleep while he's on watch.
It's worrisome.
So nothing else is happening?
I will, well, a few minutes into my watch when I'm sure that whoever was before me is asleep,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just start talking to the saga. And be like, I have a lot of questions. I really hope you can answer some, or at least give me some point of insight.
I'll do my best.
We are,
And this is a
Possibly.
10-minute ritual that you take.
yeah, but while I'm on watch, and I have the understanding that a lot more time has passed when we were teleported out of down there with the seal.
If Lynn seems versed in the arcane ways, but I am cut off from the weed.
It's wonky, and this is not where he wanted us to be. He wanted us to be.
I've heard.
I obviously was not able to actually resurrect or bring him back to life for Thraka. I couldn't, and yet he is here.
I would tread carefully. There are but a few things able to restore soul to a body. But rejoice, your ally is alive.
Yes, it just makes me nervous thinking about what it is. Because I don't know if it's like you or something else.
Trust your instincts. They will serve you well.
And Perry is undead,
No,
but not quite.
there's definitely a touch of something there. He wasn't brought back whole, but when your soul is in the clutches of a demon, it is a wonder to get it back at all.
Very true.
Everything has a price.
Yes, that is very true. I remember well. How many more seals do we have here? Do you remember?
I don't know. This was not what I did. I knew of only where the other gate was kept within the tower, the face fire. It is fearless.
Only that one.
That is all of my knowledge. It was Liam who
Did
sent you this way. Yes.
Did you see the key or the other piece when we were down there.
I did. I felt its presence.
It's
But I
wise to
also
go back
felt
there.
how immensely powerful that creature was, and you were right to flee.
We're gonna have to go back and get it.
Tread carefully. Hopefully, that creature is not there.
I hope so as well. Do you know anything else that could help us?
My advice is still to seek out those with knowledge of the past. And the oldest creature within Corvair besides me would be
His Majesty?
King Caius. If he would be willing to see you, but there is no guarantee.
Is there anything that would help us guarantee that he will? That you can
I
think
am
of?
far too removed from politics, my dear. I returned to Eberron, albeit against my own free will, to a realm that I do not recognize.
I do apologize about that, but I am thankful I was able to help you.
Events have transpired in a way that have benefited me in a way that I would not have initially seen as a benefit. But I have come to realize I was clouded in my perceptions, and I let a mother's love corrupt me into doing things I should not. But having lost my own child, I could not bear to lose another.
Of course. No.
I make no excuses for my actions. The things that I've done are terrible, and my penance is coming. And that is why I assist you to return to Barovia and make my mistakes right.
And I will keep to my promise of trying to save him for you.
I am very glad to hear that. During the watch, does anybody else do anything?
Get accustomed to that.
By the end of the watch, and it's time for you to wake up Perry, you kind of get it down. Like, you kind of get a feeling for when you you finally let the spell go. You go back, you wake up Perry, and you're like, okay, like, I think that's.
Yeah.
It's smaller than you thought it was gonna be. Like, you were expecting like this great, huge, and you're like almost like, well, it's still big. I mean, yeah, come on. I mean, I'm still big. You.
Big enough to carry 6 people?
Oh my
No.
god.
No. Probably 2 or 3.
One can fly.
One can fly. But you're thinking about like how much Thrakka weighs, how much Rotmir weighs, and how much Trissa weighs, and you're like, oh.
What about a rock?
Very sizable rock.
No.
Same thing.
I just made that
you
joke.
could have maybe, you could hold maybe 2 people
got to
and
reach
have
out to
maybe 2 people ride on you, but I mean it'd be much slower, and you don't know if you could take off from here.
Mm.
You would definitely have to either get up into the canopy or away from the woods themselves.
Yes. So, if you go now?
Yeah.
I guess I don't
and
have
the
much of
8
a
hours
choice.
will pass without any incidents happening.
Cool. I need my pile.
we all
Oh
need
yeah,
our
we
pile.
all need that back. We
There
all
better be a
need
pile
our
by
Split
now.
up the pile and
piles.
save you a little time, man.
I don't know what they did in their application. It's freaking out.
Mhm. Oh, D&D
Throwing
Beyond.
errors. It's been throwing errors.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it throwing errors?
Yeah.
It's like last time I was just trying to change my hit points. I was doing error, but it
Yeah, that's true.
fixed itself.
Because he doesn't have level 6.
No.
But now it's like, I don't know what happened.
Practically all of my spells should be there as well, and Flynn's giant pile of.
Well,
Spells?
it definitely shows you how many
I was gonna
resources
say
you guys
the
used in
kaboom.
span of 2 days.
Right?
It was a lot.
And we were trying to be conservative. Holy
You
crap,
guys,
Flynn.
you guys
I know, right? He
you guys
used
worked conservative.
everything. We weren't joking when we were like planning on who was gonna do what.
Okay,
It was
so
either
we
he
got-
resurrect or get us out. And so I was like, I will
Okay,
keep it
somebody's
aside.
gonna be missing some level 3 spell slots. Let me know who it is. It's gonna
should
be
have-
Sonia.
It might be a network.
No,
You
it
should
should
have
have
3 spell slots for level 3, correct?
Let me double check.
Do I need to
Do,
start?
do, do.
by
Put a
turning
blue.
on
You
my
have the blue
hotspot?
one, so put an S on
With
that.
the-
Three,
I
yeah.
don't have the
Okay,
password.
so
I got it.
But
I got the blue.
apparently not. Well, I had it on my laptop. I didn't have
and I think you're gonna be the other one. You should have 4 level 3s, right?
The Samsung
Yeah.
has
Let me
Galaxy
straighten
S5
this out.
And that is Paul's, and that
Now
is
it's
yours.
My whole tube.
Hey, you get yours back on short rest when you're not dead.
That is true.
Very true.
But I'm not.
Wow, you have to like do that whole thing of when you're not dead.
Let's qualify that, shall we?
It's like, rub that in there.
So does this give any meaning to the song "Head Like a Hole"?
I saved you. I could have let you
I like
die.
that song.
They were gonna eat you, but I saved you.
I did that.
They ain't never tasted a half orc before.
Oh, I know. Oh my
I wonder what my
god.
brain tastes
Technically,
like.
he did eat it.
bland, gooey. It's more about the texture than anything else.
Oh my god.
It was a
Wow.
light snack.
I know, right?
How do you know that?
And Kyle is a
All right.
cannibal,
Let's
everybody.
go ahead and bring it back in. So, as you all wake up, eat yourself a meager meal as Rotmir seems off his game and doesn't offer to cook, to prepare anything, as he's just kind of staring at the middle distance much more often than he normally does. What is everyone else doing at that point?
Staring off in the distance.
Getting a good position. Well, I know where we're at and how to get back. Just planning the route back.
Rotmir, if you break into song, I'm gonna have to stop you.
How breaking or something?
He just kind of grunts at you,
Right, so we go now, yeah?
not feeling like singing right now.
Good.
Hey, without due haste.
That makes both of us.
So head back as quickly as we can to the cavern of Oshima.
Okay, so you guys trying to head straight there?
Yep.
Yeah. So, Perry, are you trying to head straight there?
No, I head back to the Gatekeeper.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me survival check with
We
advantage.
need assistance.
You won't know.
I talked to Lasaka last night, and we.
Yay!
Wow.
She's told the
Double
truth all the
threes?
time.
I
Yes.
believe in her. We have.
Uh,
She's redeemed.
Good thing that's a 12.
Okay. You've traveled this path before. Thankfully, you know this path well, as you follow almost the exact path that you did before. Still kind of circumventing around the graveyard, the center sepulcher that you guys had originally come to. You head further south from that, keeping it out of line of sight. Just don't want to run into any more of those creatures, just in case. Night will fall. You all continue moving. Okay. As you guys keep moving, it slows you down quite a bit. Though you have them at moving at full speed, your full speed itself and the visibility drops to about 3/4 speed.
Well, I cast dark vision on me.
Okay, go. So you can still move fairly quickly. Dark vision's not perfect. You still have to take your kind of take your time. You're moving probably about 7/8 your normal speed.
Okay.
So almost normal, but still you're trying not to step into a hole in the middle of the night.
Faster than normal people through this area?
Oh, definitely. One of the wonders of being a ranger, right?
I'll be walking with Roddy.
I would like each of you to go ahead and roll me a perception check, please. And before we do that, well, not my place to roleplay another person's character, but Rotmir will definitely have a moment with you at this point, and we'll have Paul and you deal with that moment when he's able to play.
Sounds good.
14.
26.
18.
Ooh, that is a lovely 14.
23.
23.
One's fully up to chart speed again.
You all of you, right? What'd you roll, Sergeant?
14 with me.
14.
So all of you, you smell it first. There is definitely something on fire. You can smell smoke off in the distance. Within a few minutes later, the rest of you begin to smell it too.
We need to hurry. Something's wrong.
I run with reckless abandon.
Not yet. I'm
I
thinking
mean,
about
you're
it.
going as fast as you can at this point. You guys see Perry.
I'll
He
book
takes
it
off
as well.
into the forest.
You give me back my
With
backpack.
you guys in tow behind.
Okay.
You get to the very well camouflaged encampment, which makes you groan, realizing where you guys are now.
Hey, I kill you soon for this.
I lied it.
Again.
At one point it was very well camouflaged and almost disappeared in the forest itself, mainly because the forest had overgrown its walls and they had allowed it to do so. It's very, very good cover, very good camouflage and concealment. That concealment is pretty much destroyed at this point. You see where you approach from the east, most of the eastern wall appears to be in pieces. Some kind of forceful explosion wrecked the wall from the inside, and you find detritus and rubble strewn up to 200 yards away from the wall itself. And beyond it, you can very clearly see there are still a couple of smoldering fires that are jettisoning black smoke into the atmosphere.
Any movement inside?
Roll me a perception check.
27?
Besides the licking of the few flames that are still there, nothing is moving within this place.
You shall call my carver.
Any dead bodies?
Oh my god, our steep master
You
here.
move in because you're just looking from where you are now to see if you can see any movement.
Kill Perry for making me leave my carver here. And then I'll resurrect him and kill him again.
So what are y'all doing?
I'm running full speed in there calling my carver.
As soon as you see that, he just rushes
I'm
past.
gonna go for the aerial view.
Okay.
Since it's
I run
dark
in
and
with them.
highly contrasted with the fires on the ground.
I'll get the
and be
whistles to
sneaky.
call my mage steed.
You
I'm
have
a mage
to
brother.
kind of hop from tree to tree until you can get high enough up. But this place was built into a clearing where most of the canopy itself covers a decent portion of the encampment itself, but doesn't completely cover it. So you actually have a pretty decent aerial view when you do manage to get into the air. You rushing forward. Thankfully, you remember the stables being on the opposite side. Not along the eastern wall, but along the western wall of this. As soon as you clear what is the gigantic hole that was once the eastern wall, you can look inside the encampment and you see devastation and chaos.
Straight to the stables.
Okay. As you begin running through, what does everybody else think? Because he's just.
I'm running up to the wall looking for anybody who's alive.
So you run up to the wall.
I follow him until I see anyone else.
Yeah, I'm flying around getting an aerial view.
And you?
We're following the crucial.
Okay, and Rotmir is following close to Trisman.
Trying to remain out of sight.
As the three of you push forward, the two of you take a few steps into the encampment and stop. Raka, this place was your home. You lived here. You ate here. You broke bread with many of these people. Despite the inner yearnings of power that you had and the deal that you made, for the most part, you respected the men here. You respected their drive, their ambition. You respected their resolve to be able to stand up to such intensely terrifying things and not falter. Strewn around the center of the encampment, which was once an open area of trodden grass, sparse vegetation, and a series of small ranger fires that they would gather around and speak to each other and break bread and laugh and tell stories. Now, it is strewn with dozens of bodies. You can very clearly see these bodies have been ravaged. Whatever did this, or whoever did this, did it with glee. As there are bits and pieces of these men strewn about everywhere. There is blood splashed across every stone, every wall. As you get up to the stables, leaving these two about 50 feet behind you, you can see the northern wall of the stables is gone. It looks like something broke out. There is no sign of, there's a few dead horses within there, including one that you recognize as a fine present. It has been torn literally in half. The other two are simply dead. They've been eviscerated. One of them has been disemboweled. But there is no sign of Makusha.
Start calling her.
Okay.
Like thaumaturgy,
As loud as you can.
amplified, screaming at the top of my lungs.
You guys begin to hear him screaming from Makushla. You barely hear it at the edge of your consciousness as you recognize these people. These are men and women who you fought with, men and women who you trained with. And you look over and you can see the small hut that a great many of you, you included, had built with your own two hands to give Yoed a home, a place to get himself out of the cold. Half of it is crushed in.
I'm going to start looking for anyone alive.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a investigation, please.
Do I see anything of interest from the air?
You can very clearly see that this place has been destroyed. And you can clearly see that there is a path of absolute destruction. From the south, that seems like it's coming to here, and then has headed northeast. And I mean, you can...
Was that in the direction of the tree?
The tree of the Olean, the great tree, is dead south of the encampment.
What's northeast then?
No, just it wasn't.
No. Programming.
13.
The bodies are cold. This did not happen today. Rigor mortis, on the few bodies that still are, at least at somewhat in one, pieces left, rigor mortis has long passed. It already set in and is gone. The fires that were burning in this place, the only reason why they didn't spread further is the stone itself was fencing it in, basically. It was hot, but not hot enough to catch the stone itself on fire. And it's, at this point, mainly embers. The scent of blood is thick in the air, but it is old blood. This is not something that happened within the last day.
Does it look like, a rough count of them to see, does it look like it was about the full number of the people here, or if there's some of them got away?
Go ahead and roll me a investigation check.
Better. 27.
27. It takes you a couple of hours to pull yourself together and really begin to start searching at what happened. While he's doing that, what is everybody else doing?
Looking for
Finding my damn raptor.
Do you run off into the forest, or are you just staying in the area still calling out for it?
I'm looking for Drax.
You go ahead and roll me a survival check, please.
I'm going to the far end of the path of destruction, the northeast. I had to go land there.
I'm at the wall looking for any survivors. Anybody who's
Roll me an
alive.
investigation check. And then roll me an investigation check. What are you doing, Clark?
I'm pushing out telepathically to see if anything like registers, you know, just
Well, you know you
saying.
gotta see a creature in order to link telepathically to it. None of these people are alive.
21.
21?
3.
3?
Checking my survival.
Wisdom plus.
So 19 plus wisdom is 21.
I'm gonna go check the village elder.
Okay.
Can't remember his name. It's been a minute.
As
Good guess.
you all,
Leighton?
Yeah.
as you head into Leighton's collapsed home, inside you find a fellow half-orc. His name was Eric. One that you had formed a bond with. You guys were around the same age, but he loved to forge, he loved to create things, he knew how to fight, and he loved to drink. And he was taken under Leighton's wing, along with you, and taught everything Leighton knows. With one day taking over for him, Eric lies in pieces within this place. Leighton himself, in a strange facsimile that no other creature within this place received. He has been hacked to the wall of his body. Large pieces of wood have been shoved through his flesh to pin him to the wall itself. And from what you can see on his body, it looks as if he was very slowly tortured. The skin being peeled from starting at his feet and moving up. Looks like they got all the way up to his stomach. And they either ended it or he simply bled out from the pain. You, as you check the northeast, it's hard to see up here.
Oh, I landed.
But you can, if you land there, you can very clearly see the grass and the trees themselves almost look like they desiccate along the trail. The grass itself is brown and curled inward. It looks as if it was subjected to either a sudden destruction of any of the moisture within it or an aging effect that turned it into dead and dying within mere seconds. There's still life within the place, but everything on this trail looks as if it has taken a toll has been taken upon it.
When we approached this place, which direction did we come from? Did we
From
come
the
from
east.
did we come from the, oh, we came from the east. And this came from southwest to northeast?
This one came from the southeast, came up.
So,
So but you can kind of guess right around the same kind of path that the encampment was on, that the Gatekeeper enclave was on, in that general direction. But it could also be from any number of directions. So you follow the path, you won't know for sure. But it did go northeast of you. With your ranger training in that investigation score, it's been a couple of days since it came through here.
what goes this way? Northeast?
Makushla!
I don't think Makushla is necessarily to the northeast.
With your check, you can see that there are tracks, Makushla's tracks, and it looks like she managed to get out and fled west from this place.
I'm going west.
Okay? He takes off.
Where are you headed, Flynn?
Roll me a perception, see if you even see it.
Oh, hey, I'm not that bad. Perception.
Screaming
21.
myself while the name
Yeah,
of the raptor.
you see him just start barreling off into the
I'll,
into the brush.
I'll bust out with a map and start trying to figure out what's in that direction.
You can see they're the only known, or the only
Assuming it's
true
going that way.
settlement within the Eldeen Reaches in this area is Greenheart to the south. Whatever's to the northeast, I mean,
Unmapped.
well, it's not unmapped. It's just it's
Well,
not.
no, I mean it's not on the map.
Yeah, it's not on a typical map. You would need something more along the lines of this area.
I'm going to go to what remains of the headquarters tent and search their maps, assuming there's anything
So
left.
Layton's, when you'll enter the domicile, and Thraka, after seeing Layton and in the condition that he's in, what do you do?
I pull him off the wall. Like pull the wood out, not like just like rip all or stuff.
So you
No.
pull it out. You pull it
Yeah.
out gingerly. You take him down. When you come in, you see Thraka closing the eyes of Layton, standing over his ravaged body, and it looks as if the inside of this place has been ransacked.
Did he keep maps? Whatever did this headed off to the northeast.
Dark is not talking right now. Like it's been a very bad couple of days.
You can see he's blinking back tears, but he doesn't answer you.
Is there a desk?
Roll an investigation check.
Ah, that's fun. That's only a 7.
There's a desk, and there is like an old style desk where it's got the built-in drawers, it's got the cabinets up top. It's almost like a field desk type thing, and it has been looted, not destroyed, but looted. And there is quite a bit of stuff missing, which kind of odd.
Looted? Considering everything else.
Did I hear Arnos ask what was to the northeast, or him screaming from Akusha?
Well, you
You
heard
hear
that.
him screaming from Akusha. Everyone within 300 feet
Like-
can hear him screaming from Akusha.
Probably further than that.
Well, it carries beyond you 300 feet for thaumaturgy. So you can clearly hear him.
Them or well, I'm along the wall, and do I see anybody who might possibly
With your investigation check going through,
Three. Okay.
it looks like if there were survivors, someone walked among them and finished them off. You sense no life here. And if anyone survived the attack, they must have bled out. Or maybe fled if they were lucky. But even with his investigation, he's found tracks leading into this place. Hurried tracks, but none exiting it.
Can I meet up with? Can I at least see where he is, and then meet up with him?
Well, he's currently watching
Well, yeah.
as he's kind of just going off into the forest with tears in his eyes, screaming at the top of his lungs for his raptor.
And I'm chasing after her because I figured the same as she's realized there's no one left here to save.
Go ahead and roll me a survival check.
Uh, 28?
You can see the tracks that he's following. They're days old. But you can see the tracks he's following.
Let me lead you.
Yeah, it's a bit.
How far are you guys gonna go?
Till I find my raptor, or
So what are the three of you doing?
I will get on the
Burying
stone.
Leighton.
Okay.
I'll get on the stone. Have you found anyone or anything?
Not yet.
And that's to anybody.
The only thing that looks like got out was his carver thingy. Weird. We're gonna go find it.
My horse.
yeah, I found half of it Zed and half of it Zed.
Gift from Roddy.
Yeah, Rotmere seems pretty pissed about it.
Yeah, that was a very expensive gift from Roddy.
Well,
Mm.
I mean, sorry. The Avenger's death.
Yeah.
If it killed Makusha, I'm going to kill everything.
We'll be back in a day.
I ban the planet.
Okay. Should we really separate?
This devastation's already moved on.
What direction?
Northeast.
What's to the northeast?
I've been trying to figure that out, I don't know. And all of them,
Do I remember what's in the northeast?
Roll me a straight
this place has
intelligence.
been ransacked. They took everything.
Why would they
Straight
want to take
intelligence.
anything?
16.
Why wouldn't they?
Sure.
When you all arrived here and you spoke to Leighton about your plans, he mentioned that you could speak to Greenheart or you could head to the observatory. The observatory was to the northeast of here.
That observatory that Flynn wanted to go to.
Great.
The shit.
We have.
Follow the devastation and we'll meet up with you.
We still have to go get the key.
Well, then maybe we should meet there.
Arnos, are you able to take us to that well so we can get that key out of there?
I guess. I don't know. I kind of thought this area was more Perry's thing.
Yeah, the observatory is more important even than my route. Vigo.
So all.
By my understanding,
everyone-
we went there to attempt to kill the Fomorian and
If we go, the observatory is where we used to find the seals. Whatever attacked us is headed to find the seals. We cannot let it do that.
The key is back with that portal, though.
Yeah, we found the pieces.
Saga saw it and recognized it, so yes.
If it was the creatures, then it can find the other seals, not just the ones we look for.
We need to go then. We will meet you over there. Since you're already
They're not that far away.
Okay,
I mean,
then-
they're at that point they're maybe
meet
a
up.
quarter mile away.
Okay, so meet up and we will all head out.
Alright.
Okay. At this point, we're going to go and take a short break, about 15-20 minutes, and we'll get right back to it. Coming back into it now, the Knights of Fate have stumbled upon the Gatekeeper encampment, the one that they have been frequenting over the last few visits to the Elding Reaches, the de facto home of Thraka and the once home of Perry. And it has been destroyed and burned to the ground. It seems as if every remaining member of this sect was slaughtered within its walls, and the bodies have been left for carrying. With an idea that whatever this creature is heading to the northeast, which happens to be the general direction of where an ancient druid observatory also lies, the group has decided that they need to pursue this. Thraka, I need you to roll me a investigation check, as you did not get one when you entered Lone's room.
That one.
You were just way, as soon as you saw Leighton in the condition that he was in, the roll fell away. And this man who was basically like a father to you, nothing else mattered. Excuse me.
Do I need to make a willpower save at this point, probably for like mental breakdown?
Oh, you roleplay that out. You decide whether or not he's gonna have he's gonna start doing it.
When I come back, I make my
18.
way to Leighton
Not yet.
and make my peace with him.
You can see he's going through the ritual of burying Leighton, giving him a proper funeral. And at this point, he is saying the ancient gatekeeper rites for the dead over them.
I assisted him.
So, in that time, you guys going to take the time to bury him and then move on?
I'm also going to go take Eric's weapon to
He actually used a 7-talk.
I'm going to take his weapon either way, just so it's with me whenever we kill whatever killed him.
Sounds good.
And then if Leighton has any type of like
Oh, I'm sorry,
Emulate
not a scimitar, a Kopesh. Sorry.
a Kopesh. Okay. I take the Kopesh inflate and has anything like a memento or anything. That
Go ahead. You remember that Leighton had this strange kind of artifact almost. He used to fold this paper into various shapes. His favorite was folding it into like swans and dogs. And when he would fold the paper into the shape of it, the paper animal would come to life and act like the creature it was created to model after.
I'll take it and then put it away in a pouch.
You can go back into his room and you find where he kept it. It looks as if the paper itself is been strewn all over the place. The paper is blank. It's always been blank as far as you've seen him use it. It's the only papers that are really left within his domicile. That's really all that's left. You collect them up, you find 97 pieces of paper. Unlike other paper, the dirt and soot and stuff that should be smeared all over this, the paper itself is still clean.
I'll put it in a pouch.
Okay?
If they're taking the time to bury these people, I'm looking for Makushla the whole time.
Okay, and you're going to do it by divination?
No, that spell don't work for that.
Okay.
That's the ask 3 questions of your deity spell.
Still can ask 3 questions if you need. While Perry and Draka are doing that, what are you doing, Arnos and Tristan?
Well, I know where we need to go. That was too hard to find. I guess I'm helping Thraka bury, his dear father figure.
Okay.
Thraka would deny him because it's a gatekeeper thing at this point. Like, he would politely deny him.
Do you think that this trail that we're about to follow could have been made by a giant bug-like creature that would have come out of the portal? By that
Can't
ugly
answer that.
form?
The surrounding area is just devastated,
How bad do
desecrated,
they need to know?
dried out.
I'm not saying we
Did
should use
it
that,
seem
but
like that area went far? Was it a
thinking maybe
continuous
that's
trail, or
what
did it
did
kind
all
of?
this is
It seemed
bug.
like the epicenter was larger when it stood in a single place. But when it passed through, it's only a few feet across. But makes it fairly easy to follow, but in a dense forest, it could be missed.
Well, I know. Deep to the grindstone when we're walking, then.
So you're helping Thraka and Perry, and
We're looking at the. Are you helping them, or what do you want to do? Should we do any planning? Is there anything we should prepare, do you think, before we go off and basically hunt?
Yeah, I either find Makushla or I figure out what did this.
Figure out. Well,
Find Hezen.
I'll find her.
Right.
Here you go. Alright,
Before I leave, I'll look for some memento that I can keep at this place.
I'll cast divination.
okay. I would like you to go ahead and roll me an investigation check and divination.
1 question.
What would you like to ask?
What destroys the gatekeepers?
I've got to get rid of that.
Okay. The very feminine voice of Alondra enters your mind. and you hear per se a Sukuru Kwari.
Have a pencil? Or do you need a marker?
Pencil.
PSU
PSU.
CORA QUORI.
That's all the information I get.
That is exactly what what did it.
He doesn't expand upon it.
She does not.
Is that a proper noun or just a noun?
Well, I'm gonna waste another scroll to find out. Legend lore on that. I'm running out of stuff.
So they're going to be taking a while bearing, correct?
Oh.
Well, with one person attempting to dig that deep a hole.
2.
You got legend lore pulled up, or do you need me
Yeah,
to?
no, I gotta pull up.
Either way.
He's got it.
You suddenly have inspiration on what this creature is. A Sukuru Kwari is one of the Kwari, one of the denizens of the realm of dreams. The Sukura, they were the leaders, the captains of their armies when they attacked Emerald. Powerful creatures that are able to enter people's dreams, as well as bring their nightmares out and have their nightmares themselves kill them. Seen as just as incredible warriors as they are psychic killers.
Bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, one of the Quarry did this. One of the captains of the army. They can pull the nightmares from your brain and have them attack you and kill you. But they are just as powerful a warrior as they are a psychic creature.
That is why the saga said to tread very carefully. Great.
They are known as the Super Quarry. This information comes from Sagata Citizen Fowl.
Go ahead and roll me a history check, please.
You know, I'm getting really pissed off at things
God
from
damn it.
other realms.
That's a nice even 5.
5? Okay. Through your research, you remember Kwadi, you remember researching them,
Mhm.
but the Sukura doesn't ring any bells.
This is. Find my carver.
Hey,
Before they are done burying, we must go.
You're not sticking around for the burial?
no, I'm sticking around for that. Sorry, Lip. This means a lot to me. I'll find your carver. Don't worry.
Need that key. We need this as soon as possible. And I know it's not a very popular idea, but we do need to help save Strahd, because he could help us defeat.
Well, I certainly got a lot of things to worry about now. And the next time you see that bastard, stick him with that spear.
That's the
Moria.
general idea.
You know
Although
that
at this
the
point,
creature
seeing
itself,
is the operative word.
while it is of another realm, when it is killed, it is destroyed. It doesn't return to its realm. It's not like a demon or a devil.
Yeah.
They're talking about
Fomorian?
Fomorian.
Oh, the Fomorian. Okay.
They weren't talking about.
Well, yeah, they have no idea. Like the Fomorian, that's a.
Yeah.
And
You're a
he
freak.
looks completely different. I mean, the last one that you fought was 25 feet tall and was a Fomorian.
He evolves every time we fight him.
You guys seem to have killed him the last time, so you're not entirely sure what the hell's going on.
Oh, certainly sticking with the spear couldn't hurt.
Alright. I'll go look for Makusha while they're burying.
How long are you gonna go? Or
So
how
they-
far are you gonna go, I should say?
Keep it within a mile so I can hear them when they're done.
Yeah.
I got that.
The tracks, about 3/4 of a mile away, they change. They become much shorter for a certain distance. And they move strangely.
What I know of her behavior, why would she do that?
Go to roll me a survival check.
20.
As you are looking at these tracks, it takes you a while to figure out. It looked like she was hunting something. And as you approach where the tracks suddenly become much further elongated, you travel for about another 5 minutes and you come across old, at this point, rotting and flies buzzing around them, remains of what looks to be probably a small bear.
Alright. Keep looking for it.
After that, you can see the tracks continue into the forest.
I want my car.
Are you going to travel past the mile?
How long has it been?
For what you've done now, probably about 2 hours. Then they're beginning to wrap up. And you're having to follow these tracks. You're not fast like he is at tracking. It's taking you time to be able to actually follow the trail.
I'll give it another 30 minutes.
Okay. So, and when you all are finishing up, anything else happen?
Well, once I finish up the barrel, I'll start. Well, assuming that he's going to follow the tracks, just following the tracks to find his car.
When you're burying Lee, you remember an old gift that he gave you.
Yeah.
And you begin rummaging into your backpack. And you pull it out. And it's a small folded crate that the time in your backpack has crushed it a bit. And you begin smoothing out the edges and getting it looking neater. And it reminds you of just how generous the old man was. Yeah, he was a hard ass. He was. And he expected everyone to do their job and pull their weight. But he was giving. And you remember him playing with these things all the time. You know, for a while there, he would make very elegant looking birds out of this paper. And he'd have the paper fly messages to various people. And you realize you haven't seen him do that since you've been back. Not entirely sure as to why. But you find on a few of the other bodies that they have, some of them have flowers, some of them have cranes. Cranes he really enjoyed making, but others have dogs or wolves. One of them you find is still animate. And as soon as you find it, you see it turn, and almost like paper rubbing together, you hear its tiny growl as it begins almost trying to attack you, like it's defending the person who owns it. But after a while, it sits on its haunches and looks up at you, and its little paper tail begins to wag.
I'll give you a good one.
It crawls onto your hand, looks up at you, and you do.
Keep you safe in here.
It hops into your satchel.
And then I go on to.
It's a quiet ceremony. Leighton wasn't a man to mince words. He wasn't a man to break silence that should have remained still. And the two of you are hit much harder than you would have expected by his death. Especially you. While he was training you and grooming you to be a leader, you left, and you could tell that hurt him badly. But he respected you for forging your own path, for being your own man. You, in his older age, he began looking to you. You saw him in his worst moments, when age began to set in and break this great man down, this once towering gladiator that would take on aberrations without any weapons, would tear into them with his bare hands. He was known as a fierce fighter, and he needed no weapons to bring the fight to the enemy. And you saw that slow decline with age, and him turn into what he was at the end. An old, 105-year-old man who was just ready to give up, just ready to pass on. And he was looking to you and Eric to take up that mantle. You still had your doubts. And maybe he could sense that because he seemed to lean on Eric a bit more than you. But he never looked down on you for saying that you needed to help these people, to go into the demon wastes, to throw in your lot with the Knights of Fate. Never had a bad word about it. And you could tell, like Perry, he respected your decision. And he knew in your heart you were a good man. After the ceremony, and the shallow grave that you all are able to dig in this very, very hard earth, you cover up, you say your last words of goodbye. What do you do?
Just pat him on the shoulder and just like head off after Chris Pratt over there.
There's nothing left of this place.
He is the
So
dinosaur.
at least save the one thing that might have made it out alive.
So what do y'all do?
Quickly down the tracks that
You can. You've seen the trail before, so you can quickly pick it up again. Go to roll me a survival check.
Twins tracks are probably easier to find than.
you rolled off of a 19!
Give them a little bit harder a roll, I guess. I don't
Right?
know.
12.
My dad's been doing much
Same
the
as
same.
before. You're able to pick it up. It takes you a little while. Maybe it's somebody's cutting onions around here, and that just made it a little harder to find the trail. But it takes you about 15 minutes. You pick it up, and you start heading that way into the forest. Everyone else follow?
Yeah, I follow, but in Elven, since I know he does speak it, I'm pretty sure no one else in the party now at the moment speaks it. Be like, there's a bit of an issue.
Bringing Thriswin up here with
I comprehend all languages, just so you
Written.
know.
Do you understand spoken or just written? Because it's written.
I think it's just written language.
It's
just written, dude.
There is one for spoken, but I think that was higher level.
Yeah.
Yep.
also an Elven. What kind of issue are we talking about?
But they also don't know if you would
since-
understand all languages.
Since we were transported over here, and obviously time passed, I was not able to actually bring Thrakka back. The magic fizzled. I didn't bring
Probably
him back.
because it's been,
Longer.
several days.
I didn't bring him back.
Well, then something has his back.
I asked the saga, and she says to go with my gut and tread a little carefully.
Well, there are certainly a lot of things around here to tread carefully. But I do know that, with all that's passed, I'm pretty sure he's got a pretty good intent on keeping with us to destroy what's...
I just don't know.
I'll keep an eye, but
You know, it's very rude to eavesdroppers to speak in a language they don't understand. Very inconsiderate. Screw you.
I'm sorry. She's got female problems and she doesn't have the ability to talk to Robbie about it.
Is she? No, that's bullshit. Would she go to you about that?
Well, aside from me, he's seen more of those than any of the other party. I can make a joke. Leave me alone.
But you're not there yet.
She's trying. If you really must know,
If you're having feminine issues,
it's
lay an egg and then we'll have breakfast in the morning.
Door! Save me! Save me from you! Say
It's
it.
more of she wants to know the best way to please her mom.
Oh my god. Just enough. No. Just go. Just go. Fight, Flynn. Fight, Flynn.
It takes you guys a little while, but using the setting stone,
You should ask Ella to that.
you all can gather up. You're about, at this point, a little over a mile away from the encampment to the west. You all do?
Have we found Makushla yet?
We found Flynn, yes.
How old do the tracks look?
Go and roll me a survival check.
Different guy. That's better. 21?
21. They're a few days old. You also see that it looks like she may have been wounded. There's droplets of blood that every once in a while you can see go along with her tracks. Hard to see, it's probably not too bad of a wound, but she was definitely cut. Something happened, she was wounded. You do see the kill that she got. She was probably starving. And it is a probably smaller brown bear. And she just eviscerated it, ate it, and then moved on.
She's doing all right out here.
We have cut up with her.
Is he lying to me?
Roll an insight check.
21.
Are you lying?
Well, she is doing all right. I just don't mention the wounding.
So you sense. Go roll a deception.
Oh, of course.
Oh.
8.
Oh god! You're bullshit. A bullshitter.
He's right that she's probably fine, especially from what you've seen of her attacking and killing that creature and consuming most of it. She's probably okay, but he's definitely holding something back.
The squinty eyes. The fireball.
She'll be here in a couple of days when we come back to find her. She's probably having the time of her life. When's the last time you let her roam?
Lie to me.
Look at that face.
I'm right here.
Lie!
Hey. We'll find her, okay? But we do need to get to that observatory. Okay?
Flynn, I promise you,
I'll help you find her.
she'll be here when we come looking for her. If she hasn't killed a few more of those bears in the process. In fact, we
Whatever
do probably want to eventually come and get her because we don't want her to kill all the wildlife around here.
True. If anything hurt her, we can kill it for you. We need them.
Anyway,
Do carvers have natural predators considering they're velociraptor?
Not in this setting, no.
The halflings, maybe. Halfling, elves, just pick one.
It eviscerated a brown bear.
Ooh, the giant T-Rex.
and
Yeah, there's no T-Rexes there.
intelligent creatures
No,
that would
but I said the
want to do any
taunts
harm to her are all dead.
They didn't follow her. Whatever did that to the camp was leaving a trail of devastation behind it.
Who knows? She might start following it too. Want some revenge.
Right.
Lead the way.
Make way back to the devastation.
Easy enough to find.
Easy enough to follow.
I don't want to. I don't want to lead a path in the devastation though. I don't like the feel of
I'm gonna
it.
make sure I leave the path of my scent behind.
You like, rub yourself on the
Yeah.
trees. And,
He drops trow and begins peeing.
Oh god!
I will leave a piss trail for my location.
okay.
So he's waddling while pissing.
He's like aiming.
So one of the oddest scenes you all have ever seen after, mourning the death of a dear old friend, you see Flynn walking backwards behind you all and pissing for about 20 feet, and then stuffs his cock back in his pants, turns back around, and follows you guys.
Wow, okay.
You mean it made it out of the pants?
Oh yes. Well, it's more of a robe, so you just kind of pull the robe up.
No, he wears
No, he wears the
Okay.
pants. He wears the tight
Just like
pants
a pirate.
and
That's true.
the. Looks like David
No.
Bowie.
no tight pants. Those are for formal occasions.
Oh, sorry.
Only
It's
breaks out the
formal
cock
David
piece on the
Bowie
formal
in
occasions.
Labyrinth attire.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Perry's is low cut like Jennifer Lopez in that one.
Spongy neckline.
Sometimes when he's a little excited, you see a little
Oh
crocodile
god.
pop up.
Alright. Push him as fast as we can, I guess.
Okay, so you guys following the Trail of Devastation to the northeast? Okay.
But I leave the devastation like 30 yards that way because I don't want to be in it. It
Okay.
bothers me.
Arnos and Trishma,
Ah.
while you guys were assisting in the burial, you did notice his interaction with that strange paper creature. That strange paper dog. Or wolf.
Is it like on him?
No, it jumped into his pouch and he's closed his pouch up.
So what was that little thing?
That's kind of cool.
Ah, a little thing. Go to pull it back out of my pouch.
It's still out of it. When it sees you all, it begins what you think is barking, but it's more like very, very quickly paper hitting paper.
It's okay. It's okay. That's right. It's,
Can I,
That's what you wasted the time on and why you lied to me?
well,
you can run alone.
can I then just let it smell me and then
It sniffs at you.
can I try to pet it? Well, I'll try to pet it.
You pet it, you touch the top of his head, and it
Oh,
just kind of goes up into your finger.
that is neat. How are you doing that?
Leighton had a skill with the paper. This is one of the
How
best
do you
things
do
to
that?
remind me about that.
How do people do that? I'm trying to lighten the mood a bit. We will find
Oh,
Makusha.
lighten things. Yeah, I lighten things.
I'm pretty sure it's, some erratic magic that I haven't been exposed to.
Let's continue to find whatever did this.
Back in
So-
my backpack.
When you see this little paper creature, it kind of takes you back a bit as something that's been animate for this period of time. That's some powerful magic. I mean, that enchantment lasts longer than any enchantment you can cast. Yeah. Days longer. That thing is, you have no idea how old.
Without actually making an item.
Without actually constructing an item.
Now I'm picturing that paper was made from the bark of what's his name, that great tree.
But it definitely catches your eye.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you all begin to traverse near this trail of devastation, but not directly on it, you want to roll me a survival check.
Easier walking on the trail of devastation.
Not really. It's not like it burrowed holes through the trees and killed everything
Yeah.
around it. It just seemed like everything it passed by. And the further you get away from the epicenter of destruction, where you can see even stones had begun to turn into powder from this radiance around this creature, this Sakura. The further it gets away from the encampment, the less and less that trail is. Would you roll for survival?
23.
You guys follow it for another 4 hours. The trail completely disappears. There's No sign of any kind of decay, anything like that.
Has it been going more or less due northeast?
Pretty close to it.
Yeah.
I,
Just because we can't see it.
where it starts to fade away, I look around to see if there's any tracks of what might have.
At this point, you will have to recast your dark vision. It's about 4 hours before dawn.
Yeah, that was an excellent.
Unless we want to make camp.
There's no point at this point.
We've been going for quite a while.
You guys have been going for a while.
And if they keep going.
Okay, recasting dark vision
Mm-hmm.
helps you see a little bit better. What are you looking for?
Tracks of.
Well, strangely, you saw this thing didn't leave a tracks. You never even saw the creature. Do you guys describe it to him?
Yeah.
It's a bug-like thing that's massive and it's disgusting.
And it didn't have legs. That's the more important point.
No, it has
About nothing.
like 6 eyes.
It has the body of a snake.
And it was like,
You see no trail of like a snake moving through. You've seen large snakes and trailed them before. Nothing like a large snake moving through this area. All you've been able to track is this slow desiccation, and it seems as if it's gotten less and less until it's gone.
Is there anything that while us is in the observatory in that direction?
Let's head towards the observatory, but hopefully this thing only had a limited existence before it.
Yeah, so that's not the case.
Well, at least it seems like its destructive power is getting less.
I
and then
doubt it.
something moved.
The only notable settlement in the east, in the early reaches, is south of the camp we just left.
So the observatory is the only thing it could be headed towards. We go there. Quickly.
Yeah. Do I have a note
Well,
on
at least
that?
the only thing we're aware of. All the charts were stolen.
Observatory itself, its precise location was kept secret by Leighton,
Mm-hmm.
and Leighton kept that very, very close to the vest. Neither Thraka nor Perry have any idea where exactly it lies. And you know the druids themselves worked very hard in order to hide it from those who may search for it.
Well, I'm sure if it was heading there, it's going to be in a dual line exactly of where this was heading. Can I take a bearing and keep on going in the exact same direction?
Sure. Okay, you want to roll me a survival check?
Uh, 20.
20. As you all continue, the sky begins to lighten. Dark purple becomes soft blue. Amber and orange fills the eastern sky as the sun begins to slowly rise. As you all move through the forest, you once again begin to hear the sound of wildlife begins to die out. There's no crickets, no bugs moving through the underbrush. You hear no birds in the trees. The hooting of owls has stopped.
I might have found where that again.
You get closer.
It seems that way. We should
As
probably
you
spread it a
all
wee bit.
begin to move deeper in, that sense that you're being watched becomes palpable. Like each of you guys roll me a perception check, please.
Oh, a natural 20.
He sees everything.
17.
21.
That makes it a 28 if you're wondering.
15.
11.
He sees the face of Eberron, which is
29.
weird because that's way over in Argonesson, and that's
I know,
wow.
right? Oh my-
You saw through the planet.
Did you actually notice something for one?
Very clearly, as you all are moving through, see two of those strange tentacle creatures. One of them is hanging by the boughs of the tree, about 15 feet up. its strange, slick skin almost appearing able to camouflage in the surrounding areas, but you've seen the distinct shape before, so you immediately pick it up. The other you see is just off to your right, and it's pressed itself against the wall of the trunk of a tree, and it looks like as if it's trying to mimic the chicken of the forest style mushrooms that grow on the sides of these trees.
And do they look like they're watching us?
They don't have eyes, but they definitely seem like they're waiting for something.
Do they jiggle in our general direction?
They don't move at all. The only reason why you caught these is that horrifying memory of you stepping into that cavern and these things coming out of the water and swarming at you, just stuck in your head.
I steer the party away from them.
To the north or to the south?
To the north.
Okay.
Very time.
I'd like each of you guys to roll me a stealth check, please.
Oh, great.
Yeah, time to pass cast.
Well, thanks for rolling off a natural 20,
Trace.
fucking guy.
And watch if Roddy was here. Natural 20.
21.
Alright.
21?
Swear.
25.
Let's go with 21. I have the highest skill.
One?
Holy shit! 17!
Did you roll a disadvantage?
Oh no, I didn't. Damn it. I gotta bust my bubble.
Alright.
I got Rotmir.
No, right, 21 was correct.
Rotmir rolls a 10.
Oh, damn it, that would have been a. That's a
And
11.
14.
14 and. What'd you roll, Tristan?
11.
11. You and Arnos move pretty well through, and even Flynn gives it a good shot, but the bumbling of Thraka and Triswin, as well as Rotmir, they're just making too much noise. And as you keep looking down to the south at these creatures, you see them slowly move position. And they once again intersect into your path.
We're being forward.
Anyone have anything that might
Do we-
slow them
Do you
down?
want to stand and fight? Or make a run for it?
Had enough of this shit. My carver? Tell your friends? We get some payback.
Wait for my signal then.
Really wish I could see them.
Hey, you know that one thing? That medical porn one.
Well, so far, you're the only one who knows where they are.
Right.
What do you do?
Found a place where I shoot into a bunch of tentacles.
I telepathically tell him you don't have to say it out loud.
And I whip around and fire it at the first one I see.
The closest one or the
Yeah,
further?
the closest one.
And
Go
on-
ahead and roll to hit. Now with this, they are watching you, so you do not have advantage on the attack.
Is gonna blow up again?
No.
No, not that bad. 18.
18 is a hit.
And how close are they together?
The other one's about 40 feet away from the other one.
Okay. I hit it with a grasping shot.
Okay. Roll damage.
Well, if I can,
And
I'll
that
put
slows it to half speed, correct?
Oh, that will,
I think it's
that will
minus
halt it
5.
It'll halt it entirely. If it fails its save.
Grasping shot. Well, I didn't cast the
Yeah, no, this is the arcade archer one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I
meant. Grasping. It reduced by 10 feet.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And it's just automatic, right? No
Automatic.
saving
Change
throw.
that?
Yeah.
And then every time
No,
it
well,
moves,
there's no saving throw.
yeah, every time it moves, it takes 2d6.
Yep.
So,
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. No saving throw.
There's only 2 of them that don't have saving throws, and one of them only technically has a saving throw.
okay, that's 10 plus 6, so 16 plus
If I can, I'll put an arrow right behind his bullet.
5.
Why the other 2d6?
For the grasping.
Oh, well,
it's
that's
immediate.
when it moves.
No,
Right?
no, the first time it's immediate.
Okay.
It's poison damage.
How much damage?
21.
21. Okay.
And
All right,
then-
so
In
you
the place
see
where
him-
he shot.
Well, you can take your second shot.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You see him raise his rifle up into the boughs of a tree and fire twice.
And I turned the tree into a hentai zone.
Hold on one sec.
15.
15?
No, I'm sorry, not 15. 25.
25 is a hit. Damage?
Once again, 16.
Alrighty. Okay. So it needs to make a what?
Against my hentai zone. Deck 17 save.
And I assume the other one has to go through it in order to get to us.
Well, it's 40
And
feet away. This
it's
is
about
a-
50 feet away from you, so it is in range of the spell. So it needs to make a...
the other one doesn't get touched because it's outside of the 20-foot radius.
Okay. So you guys were able to coordinate this. So you two have acted. That zone erupts around the one.
Mm-hmm.
So on its turn, it has to make a dexterity saving throw or take bludgeoning damage and be restrained.
Yes.
What are the three of you doing?
Can I put an arrow right behind the bullets?
Can
Roll a hit.
Disadvantage?
No. As soon as he shoots
Lights
at
it
it,
up.
yeah, I mean, it hits and you see that inky black blood that you've seen these creatures emit. Just it covers the green tint of its skin and makes it clearly known what it is.
Right. Wink. Oh, well, that works. Larynx feather short bird plus 11, so that makes that a 23.
23 is definitely a hit. Damage.
D6. Nah, I don't have an advantage. I will, however, where's the D4? There's a 4. I haven't actually gotten to use this in a while. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's fun. 10, 13, 17 points of damage. Pierce.
Okay.
And the next shot. Where are you? That's crap. But it doesn't have cover against me, so that's plus. That's 16 total.
16 is a hit.
Sweet. For
Damage?
13 points of damage piercing.
Okay. Tristan and Flint, are you all doing anything? Or are you watching this happen?
No.
Do you see any other movement other than the...
The only one that you guys see is the one that he shot.
There's nothing else moving?
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Indeed.
I will shoot Eldritch Blast at it.
Roll a hit. You have 3 blasts.
Oh, God, fucking, really? It decided to
21?
kill another error.
21 is a hit. Damage. No, it's only 1d10.
It says I have 3 beams.
Yeah, you have 3 beams. You have to hit it 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, each of these
Oh,
dice
okay.
is an individual beam, so you might as well hold on to the dice.
You
and
should have
roll
just rolled
Damn it.
all 3 of your d20s at the same time.
Oh, well, okay, so...
So roll the
Because
other
those look like they were good rolls.
So that was a 4 for
Okay.
that one?
Roll the d10 with the...
No.
And you have your charisma bonus attached to that, correct, or no?
Oh, no, I haven't done that yet. No, I think it's just the D10.
So you don't have vicious blast. You have the pulling blast.
The pulling
Never
one.
mind.
And
I
that
think it's
was-
agonizing blast, actually.
Yeah.
That was a 2 plus 8. So
I have it, she
And-
doesn't.
Mm.
That's a 17 plus 8.
17 is a hit. Damage?
And 4 damage.
And 4 damage?
So 8 damage total.
Alright.
And
And Flynn, are you doing it?
she has the pulling one too,
What do you
so
do?
it's
Yeah, moves.
As Flynn melts and shifts into his
gonna
new and
still
much
be within
larger
range.
shape, I'm gonna go, I have had enough!
So you're going to cast Polymorph?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
it's still within your little, like...
Yeah.
Then on its turn.
Adult copper.
Okay.
Remember, it did get pulled, but
Yeah.
it's still within that radius of the...
Go ahead and roll your 3d6. Go ahead and roll your 3d6.
oh Phil lit.
I have no knowledge of how polymorph works as opposed to...
12.
12.
Make your perception check.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
And the other one, you see out of the corner of your eye, you see it slink around the tree. This one, you see it goes to try to roll away in that strange fashion that it does, and you see a giant inky black tentacle erupt from the tree itself and wrap around the creature and squeeze it until it pops like a cyst.
Oh, shit.
That's a good thing we put all those arrows on this bullets and
Right.
on target. Fuck that
Welcome.
guy in particular!
Welcome to Japan.
Oh.
What are you all doing?
Well, if the other ones are advancing on us and we can see them, I mean, I'll take shots.
The other,
Was it just
nothing
the
else is-
one?
The other one that he saw, as soon as you guys attacked that other one, it sleeked around to the other side of the large tree that it's on.
Did it advance on us, or
No.
did it just move for cover?
It moved in the total. That's it. That's all it did.
That
And
right
melt
there.
the tree.
I think
Yeah,
it
it turned
catches
into
it
a-
on fire, not melt. Or is it
It
just
turned into a
complete
copper.
Copper,
ash
acid,
now?
or fire?
Copper.
That one should be- that's fire.
Copper is fire.
Copper's fire,
Yeah.
brass is acid.
So I think it's like just a giant pile of
I believe
ash
copper's
now.
fire.
We
We
know
could have
that.
them backwards.
We
As soon
all
as you
have
get them
It
D&D
might be
Beyond.
the gas. It has the gas
No,
too.
I thought the
Yeah,
black
I'm
was
not
just a
using
gas.
gas. I'm using the other one.
I don't remember which one's which. They're so interchangeable. It's kind of annoying.
An adult, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Brush.
Acid breath.
Yep, acid breath. 60-foot line, wide line.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Say that again.
60 foot.
60-foot wide, or 60-foot long line.
Yeah.
Why? It's like what, we're gonna
Yeah,
devastate
long
the entire
run.
forest.
Yes, yes. I have a
It's
Kami-
5 feet wide.
I have a Kamiyami burp.
So you've got the fire and sleep, right?
No, he's got acid.
Slowing. Slowing and acid.
I'm an adult brass, right?
So I go ahead and melt that tree.
No,
He's a copper.
Copper, sorry.
Right. I guess I could do brass or red
Nope.
shadow or.
I guess copper does.
I feel like
have
being
green.
copper today.
You feeling coppery today?
I'm feeling coppery.
Feeling
I'm surprised
coppery.
it didn't transform into a gold.
You know that is a very fun type of dragon.
That would have been a very fun time to drag.
It really is. Oh my god, now we put it.
Can I do a gold?
No.
You'd probably have to turn into a smaller gold.
I'd have to turn it into a smaller gold, and
Ooh.
smaller is not something Flint does.
Weakening, change.
Well, you
shape.
see, you turned into the thing is an adult copper doesn't get very big. So
It's a
you'd be
huge
you
dragon.
That's nice. That is absolutely spectacular for that dragon. There's bigger.
All right.
Yeah, he can do a gold dragon.
Personally, I would have gone
Not an
bronze,
adult. He could do a young gold dragon.
which would probably still be a huge creature.
Be copper today.
Wait, what? Young? Probably be larger.
Well, you shifted into copper, so you're copper.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are now in your
The
midst
acid
have
one.
a large copper dragon.
Haha! Whoa!
Oh, that fuck flip!
Flynn.
I'm breathing on the tree.
Roll me a perception check. And you're using the.
Can I use the detect thing?
You have the perception of this dragon, so perception is plus 12.
God
And you
damn.
get the skills of the creature you turn into. I love this version
26.
of Star Wars.
You caught just the barest sense of movement when this thing moves around the tree. The tree itself is about 10 feet wide. These trees are pretty massive, but you just start spitting acid on that tree.
I got blindside if that helps.
It's why you're able to pick it up. This thing's actually 90 feet away, so it's beyond your blind sight.
Oh, then I will move forward to get in breath weapon range.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
you
you're
would've been outside of that.
you can see the tree that it went behind with your perception, just seeing
Yeah.
it move. So you can move 30 feet easily.
I will move closer to you.
How close can you move?
The only
How
thing you
fast
don't get
am
from
I?
a polymorph is
40
the
feet
legendary
of
actions
regular
and layer
speed.
actions.
I'm gonna go ahead and fly 80.
In here, it's harder to fly. You won't
Yeah.
get 80 in here. You'll basically fly as fast as you would run.
Okay,
Because
then
you'll be
I
jumping through around the trees.
run through the forest and then melt.
Yeah, you're okay. So you get within. You're another 50 feet away from this creature now,
Yay, acid breath range.
and you're just doing it at the tree itself because the creature's on the opposite side of it. Okay, go to roll your acid damage. That is 12d8,
Down.
Bernie, death.
and the tree is going to take full damage.
Screw you, Mother Nature, getting in the way. Are these natural creatures? Wait a minute.
These aren't.
Okay, just making sure.
You guys know these are like you tested these things. They're aberrations.
I don't remember. I didn't do it myself to detect whether they were aberrations. I
57
don't remember
damage.
being told.
Yeah, you did.
Me? I didn't
Yeah,
do
you
that.
did your No, you did your sense on them. That was the first action you took against these people.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. I did the other one, right? The 100.
57 damage.
57. You guys hear loud, thunderous crack as this tree breaks from the acid just melting through it, and then now it can no longer support the weight, and it just begins to fall away from where this new copper dragon has charged through this force, begins to fall away from it and smashes into the ground. It is a cacophonous amount of noise.
So that is Flynn, right?
Flynn is no longer with you guys.
But Flynn turns invisible quite often.
That's not true. He's here in our hearts.
I try to poke it. Poke
And thoughts.
its
You'll
mind.
have to run up to try to poke it.
That's fine. Like poke the brain, like to be within range.
What's the range on your telepathy?
30 feet.
30 feet. He is 40 feet away from you. So you would have to, on your turn, you can move up and try to establish contact. Okay, so
What is detect?
with that, I'm going to give this
Detect
thing
what?
what's that?
What is detect?
Detect what?
It's
It's a legendary action detect.
You can't take the
Oh,
legendary
you can't take the
actions.
legendary actions. Yeah, you don't get any
I think
legendary actions.
polymorph
or
is
legendary
functionally like a druid shapeshift.
Yeah.
And how does recharging?
Can we say overkill,
D6
though?
or what?
The breath weapon? Yeah, I'll roll your breath
don't
weapon.
have
He's been waiting for this, though. I have a feeling. Like,
It's
see
one
that
of the
face
things
right
I've
there.
been waiting
That-
for.
2 weeks. Set something on.
As you come around, after this tree falls in the forest, you come around and you see this thing is trapped beneath the tree, and it looks like it's been crushed very badly, but it's still trying to pull itself away from it. And you can see, if given enough time, it will rip off tentacles and continue to try to either attack you, if that's what it's doing, or flee. Not entirely sure what it's doing, but it's definitely trying to get out from under the tree.
Cool. I'll shred it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bite.
Dead.
Bite in 2 claws.
Yep.
Would you want to
See, dat is wat erbij. He can live
So
anything.
plus 11 on the bite.
That's a 30,
30's a hit, and the 2 claws.
a 30, and a 28.
Both are all hits. Go ahead and roll that.
So the claws are going to be. Oh, that's only 12 damage. That's better. That's 17 damage.
You're doing the 2d6
Okay.
plus 6.
12
right?
and 17?
No,
It's 2d6 plus
12
6.
and 15. Sorry.
12 and 15?
Yeah.
Okay, so 27.
then
And your
the
bite?
You're not going to do that too?
20 damage from the bite.
You all watch as this thing, this copper dragon, its frilled wings tucked in tight to its body. It pounces, and you can't see exactly what it's doing, but you see it take both of its claws and dig them into the earth. You hold the creature down into the earth, pinning it there, taking your massive jaws, clamping down on the center of its mass, and begin pulling. And you hear a sickening popping sound as you pull this creature in half. It tastes horrendous, and you find yourself spitting out the desiccated meat of this creature onto the ground, and it is vile. I mean, to the point where you're you thought the acid tasted bad that you spit out of your mouth. This is far worse. And you all watch this display as a giant copper dragon is now licking trees next to it, trying to get whatever it can out of its mouth.
Yes, it's Flynn.
As you move up and you establish a mental connection, you feel a very familiar mental connection.
It's Flynn.
Get out of my brain! Don't like it. It's bad touch. I eat you.
You know,
Then I have to get that taste out of my
from
mouth.
what I understand from dogs, if you lick your ass, it gets the taste out.
The other one got right.
Oh yeah,
No, we
Oh,
murdered
no, he got-
one,
he got
murdered
tentacle.
another. What's next?
I stop and try and see if there's anything else out there.
roll a perception check.
No, I'll go ahead and burn the spell for primal.
Yeah, I'll look around too.
Go ahead.
Looking for aberrations.
14.
26.
The forest is still incredibly quiet.
I'll burn the spell looking for aberrations.
And how far is it?
1 mile in when you're not in your favorite trade. So.
Okay, so 1 mile away within you, you detect no aberrations. And you guys see the forest is uncannily still.
There's none close. We should probably get moving. See how much ground we can cover and spot.
Aye, we should. There's still something
I want
around.
to ride on the dragon.
That's very much up to the dragon.
I'm about to fly in the sky.
You've turned this into something that can fly and is rideable. You should know this.
Sky with diamonds.
I'm gonna.
I was going reading Rainbow, but that's a
With-
different.
This is very nice. I
your,
like
with your special robe, the 1 hour duration becomes 10 hours. Or 8 hours, yeah.
8 hours.
Yeah, 8 hours.
I'll take 10 if you want to give me 10.
It becomes 8 hours, so you have an 8 hour duration for polymorph.
Well, the hilarious part is
I
you can
remember
cast
dragon.
spells as
Now
a
remember,
dragon.
each time you take a hit, you roll, and you don't have Warcaster when you're a dragon.
Okay.
So you'll be rolling just with its Constitution saving throw of +10.
Why doesn't he have Warcaster when he's a dragon?
Because I lose
all
all
of it.
my abilities.
You
and
lose
gain
all your
of
abilities.
its abilities.
Yeah, you lose all of your abilities and you gain all of that creature's abilities, except for its ability to cast spells.
And its legendary actions.
He can't speak unless the creature itself can speak, which
Which
he
he
can.
can.
He can't cast spells.
Unless the
even
creature
if the
itself
creature
can.
Which, no, even if the creature
Creature
can
can?
cast
That's a
spells,
little
he
silly.
can't cast spells. Like, the creature knows, like, let's say he turned into a Mind Flayer, he
And-
couldn't do it Psychic Blast.
I wasn't asking to talk about that. I was talking about his own damn spells.
No, you can't use your own spells. You lose all of your own abilities. All of your gear also melts into your new body.
Hey, dragon. Although if I was a beholder, those would be natural attacks, so I could do that.
No, I'm thinking of
You can do
the.
what?
The beholder natural attacks.
Yeah, no, you can still bite and you'd have the end magic come.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd have the iris because they're
I
part
think the
of
wild
special
shape is
attacks.
actually nicer.
No, wild shape is better than polymorph.
It is.
It is. It's just polymorph is still.
Because
really
the only thing
good.
keeping you from doing most things in the form is the fact that you are literally the new
Okay,
creature.
so
Yeah.
I love my robe,
Mhm.
and I'm going to be a dragon for 8 hours. That's the thing.
Did I give you level 2 or level 3?
Level 3. Yeah.
I
It used to be
don't
level
think
2, right?
you're the strong one now, are you, little
Thank you.
bastard?
Actually, I mean, I'm gonna spin one more right now too, anyway. So we'll keep that.
No?
Can you at
I'm
least
going to.
see the
Okay, what do you
observatory
cast
from
it?
up there?
Passive
He's not
penetrance.
flying.
Then you will lose your dark
But
vision.
he's very tall.
And these not
Isn't
taller
it about
than the
light
trees.
anyway?
But, you know,
that
you
is
could fly
true.
up.
Thank you.
So at
But
this
yeah,
point, each of you will benefit from Pass Without a Trace.
I'm a very sneaky dragon.
I think
Now-
you're right. Let's get on the move.
How?
Well, I don't want to lose my, you know.
Now, with this scene that just happened before you, with you guys eviscerating one of these creatures in a split second, and then the other having a tree drop on it, and then a dragon attacking it, you guys know anything within about a mile heard this exchange. And at this point, you guys are currently blindly walking into the forest.
Not blindly. We're going to be able to see the aberrations
Blindly?
coming. Blindly, yes.
Then it's a good thing that I have blind sense, yeah.
So, what exactly are you guys doing? Because you guys are, right now, currently, bumbling around the towering wood, attempting to find an observatory without knowing its precise location.
With the dragon sneaking.
With a dragon sneaking with you guys.
Hey, I have a better stealth as a dragon than I do as me.
You do indeed. It's +6 as opposed to what yours
Plus
was.
two.
Yeah, so-
He's slightly stealthier.
I say we go north for an hour, and then we'll track back, just to make sure that we clear of anything that's looking
This
for
sounds
us.
good.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take off.
And where?
Go north for an hour after I get up above the trees.
Okay. It takes you a few minutes to get up above the trees.
I'll pick Perry up by the scruff of his neck.
You're gonna just carry him the whole way?
Yeah, I'm going to dangle from my front claw.
What's that? What?
I'm flying! Very scary!
Yeah, sorry, I'm not strong enough to
With
lift you,
his
but I'll
with
fly
his
along.
strength, he couldn't carry both of you.
Oh.
One of you could ride him, but he'd be slower.
I only have a 26 strength, I'm sorry.
23.
No, really?
Yeah.
It's the other one that's 26?
Yeah. Adult copper's 23.
No.
Aww.
They're
Which
strongest
means
I'm-
you can adequately carry 230 pounds.
You're just
One
slightly
hurt.
stronger
Yeah,
than
you
me.
can carry him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's slightly stronger than me.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Well, as a dragon, yes.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice to fly with your own wings? Instead of some ridiculous magic item?
Yeah, this is true.
You can while he's flying north for an hour and then coming back, are you guys waiting around or are you guys going to move on?
Move on.
We'll go north. Lead us north.
I guess I'm leading us north.
I don't know how to navigate these things, and you know I don't like trees.
Well, basically, I'm trying to subtly tell you as your guys' DM of blindly walking into the forest isn't a good plan. But you guys have the ability to make a better plan, if you'd like to make a better plan. Or else we can just continue with you guys bumbling around the forest.
Well, I'm currently not there for the plan.
Well, currently we're trying
Tristan is
to,
not the
get away
best
from the
planner.
get away from the source of our gigantic ruckus, and not in the direction that we're trying to go.
So-
North instead of northeast.
As you guys get above the trees, it's a sea of treetops up in this place. Where you guys came in from the east, that day's travel, that was the thinnest section of the forest that you guys have seen. The rest of it, I mean, it's almost like one giant living organism.
There's nothing.
There's parts of the canopy that you can see through.
A mountain that's sticking up or anything.
Oh, there's mountains.
Tower.
You can clearly see the shadow crags to the north, where you guys came through before. That took you
The
guys through
observatory is
travel.
not in the shadow crags.
And that's northwest, so that's the other direction.
So you need to go.
Is there anything northeast looks like they built an observatory on?
I mean,
A
there's a
promontory or anything like that?
when I say you're looking at like a sea of treetops, I mean it's like a rolling, almost like waves of trees. And you can fly for half an hour, then a half an hour, for an hour.
pretty
Okay. In half an hour, with the speed of 80, you can get. I actually have something here for this.
You've got Arnos clinging onto your tail. Whee! I can't fly that fast.
You can travel about.
800 feet a minute, so.
You can go about 6 miles in half an hour. So you fly
Try to hit 6 miles.
It's a rolling forest, and you go straight north.
East.
The direction we're going northeast.
Okay, so you head northeast.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you guys travel for. I mean, it's and
I keep
you.
an eye out too.
I mean, you're trying. This is terrifying.
Oh God.
I mean, this is terrifying. So you can go to make a perception check with disadvantage. You can go to make a perception check with disadvantage as well because you guys are above the trees. Your disadvantage is for a different reason.
Because his
he's
pants are pissy.
peeing,
Such a shame.
right?
He's trying very hard not to piss himself.
I think you already did.
However, 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
That plus 12 is kind of cool. I like how it feels being you.
Yeah. Right.
I know, right?
Looking around, you guys can see the forest here in this area is still very quiet. You're not seeing deer running through the forest. You're not seeing wildlife. You especially have a hunger like you have never felt before.
I'm hungry, Perry. Do you know if there are any meat snacks available?
I'm sure they're around somewhere. I'll find you one, don't worry. Why are you looking at me like that?
No reason. Don't pay.
You're looking at me like Makusha looks at me.
Like honorable
That's
man.
not a good.
Subject matter.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
I'm gonna go a little bit higher for Perry's benefit.
Oh my God, he's gonna make you pass out from lack of oxygen.
You see a stream coming out from his leg.
Oh God, ew.
Wow.
Right?
To be fair, if a dragon was carrying me, I'd probably piss myself to.
Right?
Is it piss?
Oh, that's certainly really even now.
I really.
It's kind of filmy, right?
Eh.
I wonder if he'll hit terminal velocity before I can catch.
It depends on if he's trying to hit terminal velocity or trying to slow himself down.
I wonder with all the magic interference and everything going on, if like your spell just might go, and then you both hit terminal velocity.
Right.
Or he
I
stays
can-
like
Okay,
this.
sorry, I do have to adjust. You could not turn into a dragon. Only beasts.
Only beasts?
True polymorph allows you to turn into creatures.
Oh, well, it's already happened to
Yeah,
that.
Could he be
specifically
a
says
rock
beast.
instead?
So we'll say that you are a rock.
Okay, I'll be
Rocks
right.
are awesome. Do we want to use my figure?
But
Sure, pull out your figure.
Might as well. Now you've got a figure to use.
It's like, I got a Christmas
Thank you, Nick.
present.
Yeah, that's why you want True Polymorph. True Polymorph allows you to turn into all creatures. Polymorph is beast only.
Yes, everyone can tell I'm excited about this one. Thank you again, Nick.
Actually, looks really freaking cool.
Right?
Mhm.
Can I have that as a
And
mount?
you're still holding him.
Yeah.
And you still feel that hunger, though not quite as bad.
This is a size difference, by the way.
Yeah.
There is definitely
We have Gary over
something
there.
odd in this area. But you're not seeing anything that's just a glaring, oh, here's an observatory. You're not sitting on top of some rocky outcropping, anything like that. It's, you believe, something that's that coveted and potentially destructive to the Order would not just be sitting out in the open. Whatever this thing would be would have to be very carefully guarded. To the point of, you have no idea where it is. It's not, they don't tell gatekeepers where it is. They only tell the select few. Like, Leighton knew. And if it went before he passed, he may have told Eric, or he may have told Thraka, most likely Eric, with everything that's been happening. But it wouldn't just be, it would not just be a, like, sitting out in the open.
Right.
There has to be another way, something else to find this. Some other connection that you guys can form in order to get to this place. Because obviously, the creature that you guys see and what he knows about the sputtered quadi, he knows the creature is not dexterous and nimble enough to ransack somebody's place and take their notes. The thing is a monster. It doesn't have a need for that.
Someone else is.
Maybe something else is working with this thing, in concert with this thing. And they had the ability to get that information. If Leighton even kept that information, he may have just, it's northeast.
He went to his grave with it, I'm sure.
So, you guys, going the 30 minutes up and going about, and its fly speed is still 80 feet.
Yeah.
You guys still go 6 miles and can come back.
Do I get a
And,
feeling
as
of
an
where
hour round trip.
the quietness might localize or center on?
It's in a very large area, and it seems to extend miles around. And you know, as well as Thraka, when aberrations are present, creatures flee and hide for miles. Like anything connected to the natural world can feel that taint from a very long way off.
Can I feel that taint anymore, or is it gone?
Perhaps if you had remained a gatekeeper, maybe you wouldn't be able to feel something like that. But you have your ranger ability, which is more localized. If you were something, because you're a defender of mankind. You fight and kill beasts. You hunt them down. You kill them. You murder them. You're not a spiritual person, per se. You have minor magical abilities, but the druids would be much more in tune with where these creatures are and could be, and have more of a sense within the forest of where these creatures are hiding. But as you guys just left, you saw how many. I mean, there's a reason no one was left alive, and you can assume they didn't want to be found. So you guys have a conundrum on your hands. You guys can keep heading northeast, but you guys could probably pass it and not even know it's there. I mean, this thing has to be well hidden. It has to be. There's no way that the gatekeepers would just leave it out in the open. It's not one of those things that's like, where's it gonna hide in plain sight? It's an observatory. It can't hide in plain sight, because if you can see it, then you know what it is.
And I think the only way that we're gonna find this thing is if we go to the tree. I think whatever's looking for it, it's not gonna be able to find it either.
Very well. We go to the tree and we stop on the cave on the way back. We get the door piece. Now hold on, little one, we dive.
Well, at this point, he's going.
And I'm
That's
gonna
probably
dive.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
There's no English, just.
Where is Aranos when you need him?
I know, right?
So this is Flip.
And
Here's Perry.
usually train around the rocks. You know that the.
Well, yeah, I lived in mountains. Of course,
yeah.
I'm around rocks.
Well,
Nothing but rocks.
Good. See, we miss you, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, when you're with the Arakocra and their pet rocks, ROCs,
I'm pretty sure they speak ABS.
you've seen them.
Are in anyways.
ROCs are not. They're just animals. They're just giant birds. Now, Arakocra, yes, they're intelligent enough to speak and speak on. They're actually tend to be like where the Kenku, you not being among them, were cursed with the mimicry. You have seemed to have been able to pull out of that since a long time ago. You've been able to speak for quite a
I'm
while.
a very special boy.
Must be. I mean, you're here playing D&D with us. But,
Special
boy.
So we can figure out what.
let me get you a monster manual.
Okay.
Or you can go into D&D Beyond. You can.
Oh
just go
God,
to
your
the
perception
beasts.
probably skyrocketed. You're a friggin' eagle.
Just look for creatures. Look for beasts.
They might actually have
Okay.
advantage, or not advantage, but what's it called when you have double the proficiency expertise in perception?
No.
No, they don't.
No, they don't have that. They tend not to have stuff like that.
Yeah, you say that, but the vast majority of beasts have advantage on sin.
Sometimes. So they'll have advantage on like sight-based perception checks, things like that.
And tigers have advantage on like all
I'm sorry,
all
you're actually
perception
faster,
checks.
so you would have been able to go 8 miles in half an hour.
Yeah, fun
Because your
times.
fly speed is 120 feet.
Wow.
As a rock.
Well, you see, that's the benefit of having dedicated wings and not, wings
But
and
can you
arms.
be wrong?
And you would have advantage on perception checks that rely on sight.
Why? Why can I not find beasts?
Don't worry. Well, what's the actual
So you
score
get
that he has for his
monsters in
perception?
official, and then you can go.
On this thing, right now, only +4, but he has advantage.
Well, the thing is,
Yeah,
another
you go
fun
monsters,
fact about polymorph,
official,
unless it's different, unless again it's
And
once
then
again different
beast,
from
yeah,
shape
there you
change.
go. That's the list
If
of
your
all the
numbers,
beasts there are.
if your numbers
Okay.
higher, you use
7
your
pages
number.
of beasts that you can turn into.
If your number's higher, you use your number.
No. Not
Not for polymorph?
Polymorph, I gain all of their abilities and
Yeah.
lose all of mine.
Yep. That's why I said it's druid.
I need to
wild
read
shape,
polymorph sometimes. Jesus Christ. My mind is hooked on wild shape because wild shape is awesome.
Wild shape is amazing.
Well, at least there's one cool thing I can turn into.
A rock. Several cool beasts you can turn into.
Can he? 'Cause
I have no
don't
idea
see
what your
it on
CR limitations are.
What's my
The
limit?
problem is though, his intelligence has dropped to 3
here.
as a rock.
I can't do rock, dude.
He's your
You have
target.
to do giant eagle. Giant eagle is at least smarter.
There's no giant eagle.
There is.
Is it below CR5?
Oh yeah.
You're supposed to keep your mental stats.
No.
That's
no. I'm reading right here. The target's game statistics, including mental ability scores, are replaced by the statistics of the chosen beast.
So why do they have baleful polymorph if that's a thing?
Because you cast it on yourself to turn into things. Baleful polymorph, you turn other creatures into things that you don't want. As soon as you hit one of those creatures, okay, I want to turn into a rabbit and step on it. Okay, now it's just a regular person. Baleful polymorph, I want to turn into a rabbit. It's a rabbit forever.
I can't carry him as an eagle.
Is it giant eagle?
Nope. It's only strength 16.
You can carry 160 pounds. You can carry him.
So that means he falls.
No, you can carry.
160
yeah.
pounds is how much.
No, you can carry
Is how
him.
much he weighs.
And you
butt
can
naked.
carry twice that, but it halves your speed.
Okay.
I should have been a druid because then I could have turned into a monkey.
Okay. So sorry for all the game statistics talk.
You know, the one word just threw me off.
The beasts and creatures.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's what I was looking like.
Well,
Let me
no.
double check.
Oh
Let me
my
make
god,
sure.
you could be a giant crab, dude.
I think the highest AC you can get is from a giant crab, and that's only like a 13, 14, maybe a 15.
I can do T-Rex.
They still don't have very high ACs. I'm talking just in terms of raw stats.
Yeah.
Because no beast has
You
an
know,
AC
you have a
very
very
high.
giant head with these little bitty arms.
None of them do. It's part of the reason why wild shape is awesome. It's not that awesome.
No, still a cool spell.
It is really awesome.
Yes, it is.
Especially because
I could
now
turn
you
into
have
something
a
flat.
huge buffer of hit points.
Yeah. That's the biggest bonus.
If I turn into a T-Rex, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what is the only thing I will be turning into?
Gonna turn into a party of T-Rexes. This has been gone over.
I'm
We've done
sorry.
this.
Belful Polymorph was a what's it called?
Creature ability.
No, it's a.
Hmm?
You just have the word hold
It
on.
was in the Dragon magazine. It's not canon yet.
Hmm?
Okay.
My
So
muscle
sorry
decided
for
to do weird things.
the breaks being absolutely stepped upon for that. But let's go ahead and get back to it. So when they return after having gone, it is 6 miles because their fly speed is 80. When they get back, do you remain in your eagle form?
Hell no.
So he reverts back to his form.
Aww.
Funny thing, a giant eagle is as intelligent as Rotmir.
Hey!
It has an 8?
But I can't
8.
talk.
Eh.
But he can't
So
talk.
cool looking.
I would like to talk.
So,
Whoa! Calm down there, buddy.
You see him drop Perry on the ground, then land, and turn into flame.
Ah.
Revert his form. Speaking to the rest of you, what do you say?
Yeah. Our best bet is to go to the tree. It will know where the observatory is. Or we go to Caius. But on the way, we need to get the piece of the door.
So the tree. What tree?
It's a big talkie tree.
This is the one in the green. What's it called? What was that village name?
Greenheart.
Greenheart.
It's an old magical tree.
The living tree, the druid, the leader.
Leader.
The only actual tree you should be afraid of, and yet at the same time not, because it's not going to kill you.
I got killed by a tree. Why do we always have to go to trees?
This is the big boss one that would have strangled those trees.
Look, it's the bright side. It's a tree.
If you miss it, it's literally like missing a barn.
And I'm going to head off towards the tree. There's a T-Rex.
Do you cast Polymorph again?
Oh, I have to cast again, don't I?
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, never mind. I'm just going to head off towards the tree.
So you guys turn around, start heading in the other direction.
Alright.
I'm surprised you have the restraint not to burn all those spell slots in that level.
You guys travel
Worth
for 8 hours to get to where you are now. By the time you guys start heading back, it's right after 2 o'clock in the afternoon when you all finally reach the encampment again. At this point, the fires have completely burned out. You all have been traveling for quite a while, and fatigue is now beginning to set in. Are you guys going to try to push on, or are you guys going to stop and rest?
We need the rest.
All right. So,
I'll take first
what do you all do? You going to take first watch?
Usual watch order.
Myself, you, and
Well, at least most of us can watch during the day now.
When do you want Rotmir to watch?
You
Third
want
watch.
Third watch, okay. Then
Who's second?
One.
Aranos and Perry.
Yep.
Okay, Perry takes last watch. Okay.
During my watch, I'll go around and visit all what's left of the remains of the scattered gatekeepers.
There's tons of them. What are you going to do?
Try and put their bodies at peace as much as I can in that time.
So, before that,
Do they keep oil here?
I have, so you know, I have this open here, so, okay. Perry,
Mm-hmm.
you are exhausted. You lay your sack on the ground, you kind of curl up under a blanket, put your head on your backpack, and just fall asleep. I mean, this is taking it out of you. Not only emotionally, but physically. I mean, you're still trying to come to terms with the fact that you died. You drift off to sleep almost immediately. And when you do, for the first time in a while, you dream. And it's good. You see her again. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You see her again. You're still sitting by the riverbank, watching the salmon jump into the river, moving upstream, getting ready for the spawning season, holding her tight in your arms, smelling deeply of her scent, her blonde hair nuzzling against your cheek, and you just peace. Time long forgotten. Only a year after you left the Gatekeepers. And found her brother and friends, and joined up with them. And for a few minutes, you just take in the sight before you. Feel better. And as your breath rises and falls, you feel her body pressed against you. That scent, that powerful scent of lilacs. There's something underneath it. Something pungent. Something acrid. As you pull away from her, you feel the coldness of her is against you. And as you push away to look into her face, her dried and desiccated form, eyes already rotted out of her head, worms and maggots crawling down in her open mouth, already consumed her tongue and everything beneath her. The tattered clothes she wears are the same ones that she has on the battlefield. Orange pinpoints of light are all you can see within the eye sockets. And even tongueless, her slack jaw moves. You hear the crunching of flies, beetles, and maggots in her teeth as she stares into your eyes with those strange pinpoints of light. It says, "Why did you let my sacrifice?" And before you can answer, you feel her long dead fingernails smack into the sides of your face and dig into your flesh. You scream in pain. Rotmir kind of starting and seeing you as you are rolling around on your pack with your hands clutched to your face. Blood trickling from wounds that you feel pouring freely from your face. As he, hey, what's wrong? What's wrong? And he kind of pulls out his hammer and looks around. What do you do?
I assume I'm awake now.
You are very much awake.
Anyone else awake?
Everybody go ahead and roll me perception with disadvantage. You take 21 points of psychic damage.
Holy crap.
Why do I waste good rolls
Yeah.
on Barry?
Hey.
Ha!
12.
12?
Shit.
14 plus 1 is 15.
20.
26.
You all wake up from the sound of his screaming, his cries of pain.
Why do I waste good rolls on Barry?
You all are awake at this point, and you see Perry holding his hands to his face, and you can see it looks like claw marks on the sides of his face, almost like small puncture wounds into his cheeks and his forehead, like something was grabbing a hold of his face.
I'll go up to him and just be like, do they look self-inflicted while I'm examining him?
You don't see any blood on his hands.
If I had to take a guess, a dream.
It's the Sukorokori. We must go, it is near. You can have it somewhere asleep.
He's
It's
alright.
the dreams.
We're not safe here.
Okay.
We push on through the night until we get far away from it.
He was last watcher.
So you guys wake up.
Anyone
Keep
know what its
pushing.
range
Okay,
is?
at this point, no one has benefited from a long rest.
Ah.
It doesn't matter.
So we all have.
Well,
a
I was
level
only
of
missing one key
exhaustion,
point
right?
anyways, even though I did activate.
Oh, you have a short rest. So you have your key point
Oh,
back.
okay, yeah, that's right, that's a good point.
You guys have credit for a short rest, so like you would have your spell back, or Rotmir would have his like access surge and stuff back. that
Do
you
we have
used.
any exhaustion or no exhaustion?
Not yet, but if you guys are going to continue to try to push on, we'll start rolling saving throws.
Yeah.
Even with a short rest.
Even with a short rest.
Alright.
Yeah, a short rest is not minimum of 6 hours of sleep.
We must push on anyway.
Yeah, boy, this is going to suck.
In a hurry.
How bad are you right now?
I'll be fine. Probably better the sooner we get away from here.
Can I give him 10? I'll just put like my hand on him and then.
You receive
10.
5 healing. The wounds close a little bit, but they're still obviously there.
Unless you want to bet it's an aftershock. That thing left.
I think it's still connected to here. As much as I love this place.
As you all
Your
collect
precious place.
As you all collect your gear, grab your provisions, gather everything up, and begin moving through the night, still heading to the south, I take it? Green Heart of the path that you know, the one that Hoeth and Tomic showed you, it is 2.5 days travel south. So how far are you guys going to attempt to push it before stopping again?
As far as we can.
How far is that?
At least past
4 hours?
At least
where the cave was.
At least the cave.
Oh, the cave that's at least a day's walk.
At least the cave.
Which direction is that?
That is, you have to head south, and then you have to start bearing southeast.
Yeah, okay.
Perry would be able to find the way as he was watching them very closely, which is how he saw that you guys weren't traveling the correct direction.
Yeah, we'll push on.
Okay, so each hour that you guys travel beyond this, I am going to need a Constitution saving throw with increasing difficulty. So,
Don't worry, I'll fail the first one.
Yeah.
And all subsequent.
Stand next to me.
okay, so the first one. Go ahead and roll Constitution saving throws, please.
Does anyone get my +3?
No, not for this. That really only works in combat.
Oh, sweet. 18.
Constitution saving throw with disadvantage?
No, just the Constitution saving throw.
But then
16.
16. You're barely in your time with her still.
Well, we've got temporal shenanigans going on, so I don't know.
21.
You can feel it actually.
Oh,
You know if you don't see her within the next 2 days, that you're gonna start having a problem.
I'm gonna start having withdrawals.
21.
21. Tristan.
That's a 13. No, 14. Sorry.
17.
Okay. Second roll, please.
I'd like to see her anyway. The more she knows that stupid from morning.
16.
Hey, look! another 18.
6.
That's fun.
6.
16 plus 1 because
That
that
was
stone
lucky.
I've got, right?
That's already added into your. You have the
Oh.
character sheet, right? It's already added in.
Okay,
10.
so
10.
23.
Okay. 1 point of exhaustion. 1 point of exhaustion.
I don't get my +3, right?
You get your plus.
Oh, then it's a 13. Sorry.
13. So not yet. And Rotmir is fine on his first two. So third one. You guys keep traveling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
What do I have
third
to
hour.
roll with 1 point?
This is not an ability check. This is a saving throw.
I don't like this one. 9.
Mine's a 15.
17.
23.
25.
Okay. And what was yours?
9.
9. So second point of exhaustion.
9.
I'm remarkably
Push
good.
on.
Do I have to carry?
Keep
Flopper?
pushing.
Yeah.
So fourth hour. Go ahead. Or third hour. Sorry. Third
With
hour.
that one.
I'm still with 1.
This is the
But
fourth
at
hour.
this point, you
This is
guys
fourth.
are
This is
traveling now. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is 4th. But you guys currently are traveling at half speed.
So normal speed.
No, half speed because
Oh.
you're at half speed. Your speed is now 15 feet.
Oh, okay.
So you guys are traveling. Yeah, you guys are real slow right now.
Is anybody else? How many people are at half speed?
Just him.
Okay, I'll burn the 4th level to turn into a T-Rex and carry him.
Okay.
Oh, I can carry him.
I'm going 50 feet now.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun,
Uh,
dun, dun, dun,
And I need Constitution saving throws from each of you again.
Sadly, my
18.
con
14.
save dropped when I
18.
turn into
18.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
got 15.
15.
Oh, for our next one, that is a 22.
22 is a T-Rex.
Okay. Then 5th.
Can't I just sleep on his back?
That's
No.
exhaustion for me.
10?
10. So you're
If
at
a
your,
3 passes,
you're at your 3rd level of exhaustion.
Damn, I was almost at 20.
Has he
Yes.
exhausting if I'm carrying him?
Yeah. He's still traveling. You still have to stay awake.
Can he sleep while I carry him?
Nope.
No, I kind of need him as a guard.
no, I do not.
So you're at level 1 exhaustion.
I'm not gonna let you tell me a
15?
3 passes.
23.
22.
Or 22, sorry.
What is death? 5?
Then 6th.
Yes.
6th.
Your 5th one is
Push
back.
on again.
Maybe we should stop, people.
I'm good.
I'm not.
No, that's another fail for me.
My
Fourth, so
T-Rex
your
is stamina.
hit point
I'm
maximum
not-
is now
I'm
halved.
Alright.
You have your speed halved.
Uh,
What's the strength of a T-Rex?
25.
Is it morning again?
25?
well, at this point, no. It would be deeper into the night. It would be a
Around
pro.
midnight.
Don't forget, our sleep schedules are off. Kills
We
a
stopped at 2
lot.
in the morning.
I can't go
Go
on
on,
no
look
more.
it up. It might be higher than
We should stop. With you.
It's 25. You can carry 250 pounds without having your speed.
So those two.
No. He weighs 250 pounds.
No, Arnold can't weigh that much as a bird, but he does. He
has
certainly
hollow
is too
bones.
heavy.
No, I'm talking about with your
With gear?
armor and everything. All of your gear, you're about 250. Remember, you're 6'6".
Yeah, but most of your weight is in your bones, and they are hollow. So he
True.
probably weighs closer to 200, even.
Even
What about the
200
meat?
with him, with his 180.
Chicken.
Eh.
It's not chicken.
I
like
guess
a
we're
meaty
stopping to
burger.
rest then.
Yeah.
Yes.
At this point,
Well,
I rolled a
moving
10.
at your guys' speed, you guys at this point are about
Midnight, right?
10 miles away from the encampment.
I hope it's far enough.
So I
And at
think
this point, it's about 1 a.m.
IT 1 level, right? Because I'm at 10 now. I rolled a 10.
Then that's 2 levels of exhaustion. So you're at 2.
I'm-
Remember, you only cure 1 level of exhaustion
just-
per.
I haven't
hit
had
the
any
second
exhaustion yet.
She hasn't failed yet.
I only
Nick.
failed. I failed twice.
Nick,
Yes.
Iggy.
My food.
I thought you failed your first. Oh no, you rolled a 13. That's right. Okay, so you're at 1. Remember, with a long rest, you only cure 1 level of exhaustion. So it's going to take you days to get rid of your exhaustion. Okay, so
You must all cast restoration on you. Or is it
greater restoration.
greater?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so
Eat in front of us like a jerk.
this is actually a very good point for us to go ahead and call it for the night as you guys make camp, and we will pick it up there. Not next
Saturday.
Wednesday, but the Saturday after. Correct?
Which
Okay.
is-
The 29th.
The 29th.
We'll be back on the 29th,
I will not
guys.
be playing it
Merry
because I'll be
Christmas.
working.
Okay.
Or whatever doesn't offend you.
Happy holidays.
We'll try to have
season.
Nick stop in every once in a while to say hello, but he will have to work. Hopefully we can get Schulte in, so at least we still have our 5.
And possibly
And
Joe.
maybe we have a special guest coming in, so that'll be great. Our first special guest of the campaign.
It is really just a return
Thank you
player.
all. I hope you all enjoyed the game session. We're glad to be back after our little hiatus. After the holidays are over, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming and still trying to move on and finish this quest. Thank you all for joining us. Remember to love each other and see you all in about 10 days.